Bam, we're live. Good morning. Tyson Bagent. Okay. Tyson. Okay. Tyson. All right. Oh, I see. I figured it out. After 3, I figured it out. Very nice. A bunch of racist. Okay. The only man I will ever watch an NFL game for. Fair enough. Mr. Weed. The revolution is about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. I don't understand that even a little bit. Tyson. Oh, agent. What a whooping last night. Yeah, I did actually really enjoy the game last night. That was pretty cool. The Brianna curse is real. Junt. Oh, that's nice. I get it. That's good. David confirmed. I guess you understood what he said. David thinks it's funny that you confirmed something. Oh, the curse thing. Oh, got it. Tyson, best Bond theme song, License to Kill or GoldenEye? Boy, I don't know. I bet you he doesn't know either of those movies. Good morning. Vindicate, VNDK8.com. David Wheat, the 411 barista saved a lot of money last night. Oh, that's in reference to Paper Street Coffee. Jody Lynn, good morning. All my Sevenistas. Jody, what happened yesterday? Did something inappropriate happen when Ari was on the show? Like, I saw your comment on YouTube. I was like, I wonder what happened. Was there like some uncouth talk? I think I think that's what happened. Maybe like something was inappropriate was talked about while he was listening in on the show. I guess you know what happened probably is I was probably less protective than ever because I didn't see his face on the screen, so it probably got crazy. I apologize. I'll do better. I don't know if that's true. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do better. Straight up kitchen design mode. Can't wait to listen. Oh, good. Brianna curse is crazy. What is that? Every team you like loses? I don't know the Brianna curse. I think you're great for this show. Good morning, Omar Cornejo. Dan Long, Tyson to the Eagles this year? Tyson, oh, you mean like go over there and play? No. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Teresa. Tyson to Cleveland? Does Cleveland even have a team? Are the Cleveland Browns still a football team? So excited to get my free Paper Street from last night. No, you don't. No one got anything free because the Chiefs lost. They fucked that all up for you guys. Bring Tyson to the Giants, please. Fair enough. Bob? Is that the? It must be a different Bob. Chiefs were destined to lose. Not enough firepower on offense. Eagles are stacked on both sides. Man, it was crazy watching the Mahoney guy just kept getting drilled. That was crazy. Did he get sacked 3 times in a row or something? That was nuts. Thanks for doxing my size. Oh, thanks for doxing the size of my cock. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Gabe, you're not short, are you? I mean, when I met you, I didn't think you were short. I don't think anyone's short. Maybe I'm I like Koof talk. Okay. I think that's enough comment. Oh, I was gonna say I think that's enough comment reading. I was gonna tell you some information about the Chiefs, but look, here he is.
What's up, dude? Yeah, what up, Sevy? How are you?
Good. Did you watch the game?
I did. Wow.
You did.
Belt to ass.
Belt to ass.
Belt to ass. That was amazing.
Hey, do all football players watch the game, you think?
I would imagine so.
Because fighters are weird. They'll be like, I'm not watching the fight. I fight. I don't watch the fight.
Yeah, I guess it's up to each individual because you see some of those dudes they'll like stream their own little watch parties. Like I've seen Adesanya and Volkanovski and all those guys. Sterling. I watch them all kind of watch it, but I don't know if I'd want to watch it. If I was about to fight a dude or wanted to fight a dude, I don't know if I'd want to watch it. But I imagine I would. I don't know if I'd want to watch it. If I was about to fight a dude or wanted to fight a dude, I imagine I would. I don't know if I'd want to watch it. But I imagine I would. I don't know if I'd want to watch it. If I was about to fight a dude or wanted to fight a dude,
Or they act like they're just not into the like I feel like
They're
I'll
just
talk.
they're just into fighting. They're into fighting. They're not into
Yeah,
fighting. I have a
or like
famous Jameis Winston quote, backup quarterback, long time backup quarterback in the league. He said he was a starter for a while and then he got benched and he was getting interviewed and he was like, and he's very dramatic. He's like, you see, what I had realized was I don't like football. I like playing football. So
what
yeah.
year was that? What year was that?
Shit, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. But he's always got good shit to. He's always got funny shit, funny comments he's making. But yeah, it's relatable though. I understand it completely.
When I was watching the quarterbacks get Mahomes get just drilled last night a few times, there were some brutal ones.
Yeah.
Um, I was thinking that you as a quarterback, do you have a visceral response to that? Like when you're sitting in your seat, like are you like do you empathize with it and not like it? Like you kind of like, ooh, that's me.
Yeah, just in the sense of like, damn, not in a sense of like, ooh, that probably hurt, but like, damn, all that chaos that sucks when you're trying to sit back there and deliver the rock. Whenever you just got straight chaos in front of you, you tend to, at least I tend to feel for the guy. But I mean, shit, it's Patrick Mahomes. Who cares? Dude's a stud. Dude's got,
And the quarterback's a trip, right? Because he's kind of like I kind of like picture him like he's in the physics lab and there's all these like glass bottles boiling and like he's completely focused and like he's trying to figure some shit out.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's these bulls trying to run into your shop and like he's got his arm back and one guy hits the ball from behind and one guy hits him in the face and he's getting folded in half and it's like, holy shit. That you know what a tackle I'm talking about? One guy hit him in the face while one guy fucking hit the ball
And
out
the ball
behind him.
came out. Yeah, towards the end of the game. Yeah, so it was already bad at that point. But yeah, you're right. Kind of like a bull in a china shop, except the quarterback's trying to keep everything real nice and pretty.
Yeah, and there's just chaos around him.
Yeah, everybody just counting on everybody else. That's why
Trying
football. That's why it's the best sport ever. 11 dudes counting on each other. No one man can get it done.
My son, when they ran out onto the field, my son said, um, uh, are those guys nervous? And I said, no, they're all pussies except for the quarterback. That's why they play team sports. I go, there's 10 dudes out there. I said, there's 10 dudes out there playing a team sport, and there's one guy actually with the pressure on him. I go, they're all a bunch of pussies. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah, they don't have to go out there and fight, but I'll let him know you have a different opinion.
Exactly.
Everyone's always like, your kids need to play team sports. It'll build character. I'm like, you fucking need to play quarterback. It'll build character.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing will help you work on yourself more than playing football. Just trying to hide how pissed off you are at everybody else. Just when it's not going, when it's good, everybody's hoorah around the campfire singing songs. Everything's great. As soon as it's fucked up, everything's fucked up.
How come no fights in that game? Like normally when shit gets so lopsided like that, I always picture there to be like a like a fight at the end of the game or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
dudes getting pissed. Everyone seemed pretty calm in that game.
Yeah, well, I think that's just how much of an ass whooping it was kind of helped that fact. And I think it helps that the Chiefs, you know, it was their third time in a row being there. They could be, it's not the end of the world if they lose, even though I'm sure they were trying to win. But yeah, the only Super Bowl fight I've ever seen is the one with the Seahawks and the Patriots, and that was kind of the result of the Seahawks had the game in the bag, and then the Patriots snatched it in the last minute on like a fluke interception in the end zone, which I think kind of pissed some people off. And then yeah, you have to go watch that. I don't know if you've seen that, but Rob,
No.
Gronkowski, big Rob Gronkowski.
Is that the guy that's the commentator? He's like the
Yeah,
new
yeah, he's Tom
Howie
Brady's
Long?
guy.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's guy. Yeah, so him. You got to look up. He had a unbelievable fight at the end of the Super Bowl. I think in 2019, or maybe it was before that. But yeah, that was like the game had the game. It was like the last plays of the game. Tom Brady's kneeling it out, and they're just going at it like Royal Rumble.
Do the benches come out?
I don't know if the bench. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure the bench is clear.
All I see is boobs.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on, here we go. All right, so the dark team, the Seahawks, they just had some fluke shit happen, and they were pissed. So then they start acting crazy when they're just trying to kneel it out. And then
Oh,
Gronkowski starts throwing his big ass starts throwing blows, and it turns into a real fight. Oh, that's
wow.
weak.
Oh shit, this is a real fight.
Yeah, like a real fight. That's the only one I've ever seen.
Do people get kicked out of the game for that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure. Well, I mean, I don't know. It was the last play of the last game of the season, so I think it was probably just, they just probably find a bunch of players, I guess.
Hey, when that guy got when Mahomes got hit so that play where Mahomes is gets tackled in the face, a guy he's got his arm back like this, a guy hits the ball, then another guy hits him in the face, and the commentators were talking about whether that was illegal or not. I was figuring if it's incidental, is it? I mean, the guy clearly wasn't like.
Yeah, there's a bunch of rules and even newer rules that they've put in place to help protect the quarterback since he's essentially a defenseless player. So even if you get pushed or with all the chaos that we talked about, how hard it would be to control yourself as a crazy defensive lineman.
Yeah.
In the moment to be close to the quarterback and then pull off last second because if you tackle the quarterback, you can't put all your weight into the ground, or that's a flag. You can't hit the quarterback low as he's throwing the ball, or that's you can't do that.
Really, you can't tackle quarterback by his legs while he's throwing the ball.
Yeah, if you go low on him, if you hit him low as he's throwing, I think that is that. I think it's obviously up to each individual ref, but a lot of those are being called now. And then any illegal hands to the face is pretty much prohibited. So that I could see where if that dude hit him in the face, but if the ball was already out, then that's a different story. Then he's kind of just everybody for themselves. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy rules to help the quarterback. Which I guess if I was a defender, I'd be pissed, but I'm not. So I like that.
Yeah, the guy looked like he was just basically trying to block the pass as he was coming in, and as his hand came down, he just drilled the quarterback just right in the face, and it just looked like, well, dude, in that chaos, it's like,
yeah, exactly. Even imagine if you've been trying to get to Mahomes all year, you've been trying to tackle this fool, all of a sudden you get a hold of him, even not wanting to even controlling yourself enough to not bury him in the ground.
Yeah.
Because if you tackle him, essentially when you're going on top of him, you have to tackle him, and then when you get done, you have to brace yourself. You can't, all your weight can't go into him. Even something like that, I would want to. If I finally got a hold of this quarterback I've been trying to get a hold of, I would want to bury him horribly. So I can't even imagine those big ass dudes just the self control that they're required to play with while also playing amongst all the chaos is pretty crazy. But a lot of people got a problem with it. So who knows if it'll if they'll keep going and it'll turn into flag football, or if they'll erase some of these rules just because people are gonna I imagine people are gonna end up having a problem with it.
There was a play. It was a long pass, and the guy caught it, and I think they called some sort of pass interference or something, offensive pass interference. They were running, and he hit the guy in the side of the helmet, kind of tapped him in the side of the helmet. Yeah. Legit, not legit. The commentators were calling it hand fighting, but I was like, I couldn't tell. I don't watch enough football.
You could see. Well, that's the thing. You can only see it when they go back and they show the replay in slow motion. And then when you show it in slow motion, it does kind of look like he did kind of stiff arm the dude's face while the ball was in the air, and it kind of helped him out to make a catch. But once again, completely up to who's the referee. The referee is probably just making a quick judgment call. Who knows if he really saw the extent of what really happened. So that was another one that could have went either way. But once they slowed it down, it made sense that they made the call.
The commentators didn't like the first two calls.
Yeah, the one, because that was, what was it? It was that one, and then the next one was when they called helmet to helmet.
Yeah.
When the Chiefs guy hit the Eagles receiver, and that one, yeah, that was a bad call. But that, once again, shit's moving 100 miles an hour. These refs are just throwing based on what they see with their eyes. They don't have like a replay right in front of them after the play. So that was a tough one too. But yeah, that was a bad call. I could see the first one being called, but the second one, that's tough on the defender because once again, everybody's running 100 miles an hour. How could you, in that time, accidentally or not on purpose, hit somebody's head with your head? It's a tough gig.
Do you think that the reffing in the NFL is good, and that this is just part of the sport? Your dad told me one time, he goes, "Hey, dude, arm wrestling's not a one-on-one sport, and if you think it is, you're crazy. It's you against the other guy and the ref." And he's like, "And you have to just know that."
Yeah, I think arm wrestling is different because once again, each individual ref will probably, based on how much he knows, or if he's an arm wrestler, or if whatever the case is, if he maybe in his arm wrestling days he got fucked over by a couple different things, so he's on high alert for some shit like that. Like, who knows? But yeah, I think football wise, it's so, like I said, all this shit going on, and they're implementing all these rules to grown big men moving at 100 miles an hour. You're always going to have people miss calls, and but I think everything's just progressively getting better. I think when it comes to just sports all around, I think everybody's getting better just because everything is on film, instant replay, all the shit. So everybody's just got to play, hold themselves to a little bit of a higher standard, whether that's player or referee.
Good point. What does Tyson think about the new HC Ben Johnson? I don't know. Oh, is that the head coach of the Bears?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, solid dude. I think we definitely got the guy we wanted. I think we got the guy that everybody wanted. So the Bears needed. That's a big move. That's a big move by the Bears. So I got to actually meet him last week. Super locked in, fiery dude. Felt like he was looking through my eyeballs into my soul when he was talking to me. So anybody who can do that, I got to imagine is pretty locked in, especially when you're just when everybody's in the building in February, just getting after it. It's like, wow, it makes you kind of infectious, makes you want to just go that much harder for the guys you're playing with. But until it gets all fucked up, this is a great move by the Bears. On paper, this is the best case scenario. But it's not an on paper sport, so we'll see what happens. But I definitely am excited.
Where did he come from?
He was the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, and they had the number one. They had the number one offense in the league. So he was a hot commodity. He was the guy that literally everybody wanted.
My son said, "Hey, are these guys sore?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Is every dude but the kicker just like this morning, like feels it? Like, is Saquon just like limping out of bed this morning?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to be said about like, the same thing with working out. You work out enough, you don't get as sore. So it's like you're getting hit a lot, you don't get as sore. For somebody like me who maybe like say, I don't play for 5 weeks and I'm thrown in the 6 week, and then after that game, after 5 weeks of not getting touched, really, if I get hit a couple times, it is like, because your helmet's about however many pounds your helmet is. So even like moving that thing, your neck is sore as shit. Your body sore, leg, like you could just get a little minor contusion in your leg that you don't feel in the moment that you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I can't bend my leg. So little shit like that. Yeah, those dudes are definitely sore. I can't imagine, like anytime I'm sore, I can't imagine being a big ass offense or defensive lineman just getting punished every day. Screw that. They're probably sore as shit.
And Mahone took some crazy hits like yesterday.
Yeah, Mahomes is sore. Yeah, he's sore today for sure.
Do you think that there was even one single bet that predicted that? Like, of the millions of people that bet, was there anyone who's like, yeah, I got it?
Well, I think that everybody was aware that the Eagles roster is freaking loaded. Just after, like, however they made that happen, whether it was just having good draft picks, signing guys in free agency, loaded squad, biggest offensive line in NFL history.
Oh,
The average of their O line was 6'6", 328. I think they showed it during the game. That was the average of all 5 of them. So it's the biggest O line in the Super Bowl era. Um, so I think there was a possibility that that could have happened, but yeah, to that extent, probably not. I don't think anybody thought that that would happen, just solely because Mr. Mahomes' magic was on the other side, and you really never know what could happen when he's playing. But um, yeah, they definitely played like they were the Super Bowl champs for sure.
did the Chiefs have a bad game, or did they just get beat up?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I was probably. Yeah, they started. I think they started getting beat up initially, and they let that snowball effect. Like then, because then you started to see some super uncharacteristic things go on. Um, receivers dropping passes that are wide open. Mahomes making mistakes just because he's under so much duress, and he's getting hit from each and every way. So I think that it started with just them getting beat down, and then I think it slowly turned into them allowing that to snowball effect, just because once you get down so many points, you got to start taking chances, and that can either go really good or really bad. So I think that was the result of what was going on.
I got these 4 or 5 weirdo friends. They say that the Super Bowl's rigged, and they all said the Chiefs are going to win. It's all planned out and all this shit. And then, by the 4th quarter, they're texting me, telling me, "Oh no, it's actually rigged like this," and they're like changing their story on how it's rigged. When you were played, did you ever sense any of your games were rigged? Are you ever given a script? This is how.
I wish that shit was scripted. I wish that shit was scripted. That would be a lot easier. But no, that's what I'm saying. It's impossible for it to be scripted solely because everything is happening so fast. Like you would never be able to. Like if it was scripted, there'd be that WWE aspect to it where somebody does something and you're like, okay, yeah, that was the fakest looking thing I've ever seen in my whole life. But nah, dudes are out there moving too fast at too big of a size for any scripting to be going on.
Yeah, it seems absolutely crazy to me to think it's scripted, but I mean, shit. I mean, we've seen some pretty crazy shit in our lifetime already. So
Yeah. Now, whether there's some, I guess you could say that you could influence, like the referees potentially could, you could infiltrate that area of the game, but and there's been, documentaries of like shit like that happening in like the basketball world and stuff like that. But as far as like the players doing shit that they're scripted to do, like, that's crazy. That's a crazy thought.
I'm not sure I understand this question. Has Tyson ever bashed helmets with the dude?
Yeah, I've gotten my helmet hit in a game. I think that's what he means. Yeah, I got my bell rung a handful of times. Not since I've been in the NFL, but certainly in college.
Hey, Tom Brady. Who was the guy Tom Brady was commentating with? Is that a football player?
I don't remember, but I don't think it was I don't remember it to be a football player. It wasn't like Tony Romo or Troy Aikman. I think that was just, I don't know who he was commentating with.
Tom Brady looks so skinny.
Yeah, what a weirdo.
Yeah, why did he look so skinny? He just stopped working out,
he's on all that. He's on all that. He's on that old man single shit, getting plastic surgery and all that weird shit. Like,
oh, is that what's happening to him?
Yeah, you should look up just his face, what his face looked like when he got into the league and what it looks like now. He looks younger now, 30 years ago.
Yeah, someone I was watching the game with goes, "Hey, that doesn't even look like Tom Brady." Do you know what was also really weird about the game? That backdrop that like when you go on a Zoom call, like you can like click a button and you're on a beach and another button you're like in a skyscraper. That backdrop was so weird. I like it when they just show the guys in the booth with like the wires hanging down and the headsets, and there's like a dude next to him with a pencil. Isn't that shit better?
The Super Bowl is such a, I mean, it's such like an entertainment piece now, more than it's like the game is like a side effect of what the Super Bowl is now. Like you've got
Right.
all the best commercials of the whole year. You got the halftime production. You've got dumbass backgrounds like the one like what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, it looks
yeah,
so cheap.
yeah. Like I remember I was watching it was like I think it was 2021 or 2022 Super Bowl, and like the game's about to kick off, and like the teams are on the field, like the game is about to start, and The Rock is on the middle of the field, just with a microphone, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, wow. What it like if you're a player in this, how do you even take this? Like, obviously you take it serious as ever because it's a huge game. But then at what point are you just like feeling like I'm in a circus?
Right,
Like
right.
the fucking Rock. Why is The Rock right here on the mic? And then and then even so yesterday I was like they were playing these songs before the game. Like they didn't do just the national anthem. Like I forget what song they did, but it was like upbeat, like I don't even remember what kind of song it was, but I'm like, wow, these dudes have to be so locked in right now while this song is playing. Like this song is playing right before the game.
Yeah.
But then you got dudes like on the sideline, like just stone faced, like getting ready for the game. And I'm like, wow, that must be difficult to tune in to, being locked in and focused and unshakable when, you got Kendrick Lamar's performing and The Rock's right there and Taylor Swift is right down the hallway and everybody's just tripping. There's lights like you see how many different colors are on the field.
Yes.
Like just like the Super Bowl LIX, how it was all colorful. They're in New Orleans, like it's popping, big party, and then amongst all of that, you've got a little bit of football being played. So it's definitely becoming more and more interesting on just how big of a deal media-wise the Super Bowl is.
I didn't even understand the halftime show. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
no, it's like they should never let anybody perform unless they're a singer.
Yeah, I couldn't follow it. I was trying to follow it. It was like
you can't have a fast rapper do the Super Bowl because Kendrick Lamar is like a lyrical, stud in a sense, but not when there's like you can't hear him that well. You don't really know what he's saying because it's like
I didn't like the dancing. I did the dance.
There's a bunch of dancing and choreographic going on. It's like dude, just get Rihanna or Beyonce up there and just let them just sing as loud as they fucking can
and then have some just regular dancers.
Exactly.
Regular dancers.
Exactly.
I was pretty like, wow, what is? Yeah, it was a trip. It was a trip. So the game goes and those guys win. And what do they when the Chiefs go back to the locker room? Do they all get together and talk? Is there a debrief? Does that team?
Yeah. They go in. I mean, at the end of the day, you made it to the Super Bowl, which is, just so like when you think about the fact that the Chiefs are about to win their third Super Bowl in a row. To put that in perspective, my buddy Cole Kmet, tight end for the Bears, right?
Yep.
He's telling me, awesome dude. He's telling me a story about his first or second year in the league. And they had a new staff and everybody, and they were just kind of like, hey, man, the season's about to start. Hey, stand up if you've been to the playoffs. About half the room stands up. He's like, stand up if you've won a playoff game. About half of those people sit down. So now you got a quarter of the room standing up. And this is players, coaches, higher up people, everybody. So you got a quarter of the room standing up. They're like, stay standing up if you've made it to, the divisional round. A handful of people sit down. Keep standing up if you made it to the conference championship, NFC, AFC championship. Now there's about 10 dudes standing up. Hey, stand up if you've been to the Super Bowl. Now 2 dudes are standing up. Stand up if you've won the Super Bowl. 1 dude is standing up, and it was like an old coach. So it's like you've got over 100 dudes that have been in the league multiple years that are just trying to get to the Super Bowl. And that's how fucking ridiculously hard it is that these dudes who have devoted their life to football, only 1 dude has been to and won the Super Bowl. And only 2 dudes in the whole room had even been to the Super Bowl. So it's an unbelievable thing. And it's so hard to do. So now it's hard to say that anybody would ever win 3 in a row. Because especially nowadays when you basically have new coaches and new players each year, it's like a whole new team each year, basically. So in order to do that, you would have to do it with, more than one staff, which is just, dudes meshing and gelling together. It's just hard to do.
So when you did the first year with the Bears, and then when I spoke to you after the first year, you were like, "Yeah, I'm coming back." Like 99% certain I'm coming back. So you go back. What's the deal with now? So now you're in your off season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And did you have a debrief with the team when you left?
Yes.
And do they say, "Okay, Tyson, we'll see you in
Yeah.
August"?
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a 99% chance I was going to be back. Now I'm thinking 110% chance.
Like even if you tried to run away, they'd grab you.
Yes. Let's go. Bear
And
down.
how do you know? Do you sign the contract, or they just give you the way they hug you? They hug you extra tight.
I'm on a day-to-day contract since 2023 when I first got there.
Yeah.
Every day I could potentially get fired, but I mean, I'm in a good position with everybody, and I'm also, I'm a cheap player for them, so it doesn't really take a whole lot for them to keep me around for at least this next year, and then after that, then we'll see where things go. But as far as like this next year, it's like I'm just a position that they don't have to worry about going and recruiting for, and somebody that they don't have to worry about paying any real money just because. And I guess real money is not a great term, but they don't have to go overboard because my contract is not up yet. I'm still in my rookie deal, so I'm pretty much, I guess in a sense like a steal.
If when you came in, your excitement level was a 10 to the NFL, is it waning, or are you getting even more excited? You know what I mean? Like, like you go to high school and your excitement's pretty high your freshman year, but your sophomore year, you're even more excited. And your junior, you're more excited. Your senior year, like shit, like this shit's awesome.
Yeah. It's been, so with that quote I said at the beginning with the, man, I realize I don't love football. I love playing football.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was a lot of the attitude I had my first year, but I also, was able to play. So I was able to kind of, I was able to get my fix of, play time and adrenaline rushes and all that good stuff. And I think this past year, not really playing that much, doing really good in the preseason, doing my thing whenever I would come in late in the games, doing good in practice. I think I'm able now. And it's like, man, I don't know what's going on. I think my frontal lobe is developing or something. Like, just everything is just changing so drastically in my day-to-day life right now. And I think I'm falling more in love with just the process of it, and also just like the scholastic part of football more than the outside running around, physical part of it. Because, right now I'm not gifted the ability of the opportunity to be in there every day, taking real live reps, seeing all the things. I am, but in a different way. Like I'm on the scout team, going against our defense. We're kind of just, it's kind of like more backyard football. So I got to try to put myself in position and get better through those reps, which is hard to do. But in the same sense, it's so rewarding when you can have a year like I've had, not really play, but also get so much better.
Yeah.
And really just fall in love and hone in on the process. Because I think the end of my rookie year, I was so, and I guess this is pretty common for everybody, but it's like you played your senior year of football, then you went straight into pre-draft training for the summer. Then you go straight into the draft process. Then you go straight to the team you're going to play for. And then you're in the spring ball. And then you get a month off. And then you're into a fucking 20 to 25 weeks season. So it's like by the end of that season, I was so just kind of like depleted football wise that, being able to go home for a handful of months, being able to learn another offense, but also have an idea of what I was getting myself into the second year around, able to hone in on that process and kind of fall in love with that aspect of it, which has only grown how much I love the physical aspect of it, because I feel so much more prepared mentally. I'm not sitting there paralyzed thinking just kind of, out there reacting, learning, and getting better for when my opportunity does come. So to put it shortly, yeah, I think I've only gotten more excited because I'm falling more in love with all of the other aspects of what it means to be like, because this is the reality. This is what it's like to be a professional football player. So instead of just hating it or hating that I'm not playing or whatever the case may be, being able to just fucking absolutely dial into the fact that I get to just show up to this facility, get treatment. I can take a fucking cold tub whenever I want. I can get in the sauna whenever I want. I can work out whenever I want. So it's been great in that sense.
So what I'm hearing basically is, you're getting your PhD in football and you're loving it. You're like, okay, well, if I'm not gonna play, I'm gonna be the
And
best in practice. I'm gonna know all the plays. I'm gonna learn the nuances of coaching. Like you're on, okay, there's a ton of other stuff. I can just go deeper into everything and make myself better. So you sound fully stimulated by the process.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Is fully like I understand that other realities, other potential realities of my life are nowhere near this fun. So no matter what, as long,
Oh,
as long as I'm in this reality right now, I need to just just because it's something when you first get here and you realize you're just being surveillanced 100% of the time. Like you're at practice, you've got dudes that you don't even fucking know that are just on the side
taking notes about
watching you. They're watching you, and
yeah.
bam, I throw a pass.
Yeah,
Bam, I'm in the weight room. There's dudes on the side looking at me. I do a squat.
yeah,
Bam,
yeah,
you go into a meeting. There's a dude you've never seen before in the back of the meeting watching.
yeah.
Right and shit. And at first, it's like, damn. Fuck, man, I need to get out of here. I'm just being watched, and I can't wait to get out of the building so I'm not watched. I can take a breath. But then I've realized that now it's like, because of that, now I'm just operating at a different level because of that. Because you
And now
constantly
you're watching, right? Now you've
and
also
now it's like
right?
now I see the dude, but I see the dude in the back of the room or on the sideline with his notebook or in the weight room with his notebook, and I'm like, bet there he is. I'll dap him up. Yo, what up?
Yeah.
Let's get it. Hey, let's get it. We're out here today. Let's fucking go. Like, so that's been just like, because initially what causes all the just the mental anguish now is something that like I'm so prepared for, and I know that either way, like I said, this reality is better than 99% of other realities. So I'm just in there loving it now because I'm like, yeah, I know y'all are watching, but I'm ready. So it's all good. And now at this point in my life, I'm old enough that I'm cool with learning from something that I fuck up. So bam, let's fucking just fully get better and lock in on this. And that's been that's been very helpful for me this past year and then even going forward.
How old are you, Tyson?
24.
You're obviously known for your work ethic. It's just it's crazy. Everyone I know talks about it. It's just absolutely insane. Do you have any concerns that it could be too much? And it sounds like you're on full steam. You threw a brick on the gas pedal. Do you ever have to talk to yourself and be like, okay, chill, dude, chill. Like don't like because you see that with young men that they'll
Yeah.
overdo it and like burn themselves out or hurt themselves or
Yeah.
you ever have to tell yourself to chill?
Yeah, no. I think the way that I'm thinking about it, and the way I was hanging out with a bunch of my friends a couple weeks ago, and we were just late, just talking about everything. And I was kind of thinking of like how we as people, when we think about like what we do with our time in a day, or like how much um, just how much time and energy we put into different things, and we make it like a pie chart with like, all right, I'm gonna give 30% of this to my family, I'm gonna give 30% of my energy and time to my work, I'm gonna give another 15 to just friends and social events, and then I'm gonna disperse of my energy in these different ways to make up, to encapsulate 100% of the pie chart, right? And I was thinking, man, why can you don't have to think like that. You could give 100% to every aspect of your life. You say, fuck it, I'm gonna give 100% to my family, I'm gonna give 100% to my work, I'm gonna give 100% to me, I'm gonna give 100, fuck it, I'm gonna just operate at 100%, not hold myself back and feel like I need to conserve anything. Because conserve anything for what? what would I, what exactly, what the fuck would I be conserving for so that I can take a couple deep breaths or chill for 15 minutes? Like, so, and I can give 100% into chilling too. I could do 100% of fucking, I could just fucking,
That's where you're saying that's where you're at right now.
that's where I'm feeling. So I feel like
Yeah.
I'm not overworking myself because I'm 100% just fucking in it with everything.
Hey, dude, you're gonna be such a great dad. That's what it's like being a parent. Like some
Oh
parents
my
will be,
God.
some parents will be like, well, what are you gonna do when you have 2 kids? Do you have enough love for 2? And I was like, what are you talking about? I give 100%. I just get 200%.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. I'll give
Yeah.
100. I'll
Yeah.
have 20 of these mugs and just give
Yeah.
100%. Fuck it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it takes the overthinking out of it when you, at least for me, when I think about it like that, the fact that, because like you start, oh man, I gotta go, I gotta do this, and I gotta go out to dinner with my grandma, and it's like, nah, it's like when I think about the fact that I'm just gonna be 100% in the shit, no matter what the fuck it is, then it takes the overthinking out of it. And, yeah, and as long as you know that you're going fucking hard as shit, you usually don't feel bad about any of the decisions that you make.
You gave it your all. You were present for it all.
Exactly. Yeah, I was in there. I was doing it. I knew what was going on. I knew how important it was. All the things. So I don't think I'm overdoing it in any sense because I'm not 100% in somewhere and 0% somewhere else. I'm all in all the time. So I'm in a good spot in that sense, and don't feel like I'm gonna overdo it or burning myself out.
The 22-year-old kid on the Eagles who got the interception.
Mm-hmm.
Does that do you relate to that? Like when you see a young kid do that and you're a young kid, are you like extra pumped for him? Like,
yeah. I mean, when yeah.
Or do you just hate anyone who gets an interception? You're like, fuck you.
Nah, that's pretty sweet. Because I'm like thinking about just how once again how cool this shit is. So I'm like, wow,
Right.
This motherfucker just got a pick six in the Super Bowl.
What's that mean? I heard him say that. What's a pick six? Why do they call it that?
An interception is, in other words, a pick, right?
Yeah.
The defense picked it off, so he got a pick and then he scored for 6 points.
Pick six. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, but what a moment. I mean, I always think like, damn, how many people have got a pick six in the Super Bowl in the history of humanity? And
right.
It'd be like less than 10 people ever in the world. So
he looked so happy on the sideline.
Yeah, that's probably one of the main reasons that it was as lopsided as it was, because anytime you can score when you're not on offense, it's like that snowball effect usually is huge.
Do you DM anyone after who's on either of those teams, or text anyone and say good job? Like as a player,
Yeah.
do you DM that dude and being like, hey dude, congratulations? Or
no, not necessarily like, not like that, but there's Kari Blossom game was the fullback for us, all my season last year and almost half of this season, and then we ended up letting him go, and the Eagles picked him up. So this dude just ended up going and winning the freaking Super Bowl. So he was like a veteran guy that I had a lot of respect for. That kind of was just like a pro's pro. So I'll text him. Like I texted him when he made it to the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna tell him congratulations at some point today. But yeah, that'll probably be the extent of it. Just reaching out to dudes that I've come into contact with.
Hey, so when that guy gets let go, is he like? When you say let go, he wasn't traded; he was let go. So for a second,
they let him go. So they didn't send him to Philly. They just let him go, and then he
was. So he's sad. He goes home and cries.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, man. He's got a family, whatever. Okay, he's like, damn, I'm back at the crib. I gotta imagine ego's hurting a little bit, whatever it is. And then it's like, yo, what up? It's Philly. Come win a Super Bowl. Let's go. And yeah, it's awesome. Especially like, because he's like he was like a very business savvy guy, like very into like money, how it works, where it's going, investing, all the things. And you start thinking about how much money these players make once you make it to the playoffs, and just the numbers go fucking through the roof.
Oh, they do? You make more money the further you go in the season?
Yeah, your game check is way different Once you
Okay.
make it to the playoffs, and it gets increasingly higher the deeper in the playoffs you go. And because they handed us a pamphlet that it's the only pamphlet I've ever held on that the NFL Players Association has handed us, because I
Yeah.
was going through it and then it showed like the money of the playoffs. And I was like, fuck, man, I got to show, my dad this. I got to show everybody. I got to hold on to this so I can show people this. This is crazy shit. So I grabbed it last night because we were at my house watching the Super Bowl. Me, my siblings, a couple of my buddies, and some of my family members. And I grabbed the pamphlet just to kind of refresh, what the money situation is with these two teams. Like, if you make it to the Super Bowl, each player on the team, regardless of contract, like obviously there's like Patrick Mahomes, his every week check is going to be different than mine, right?
Yeah.
The numbers are going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
However, the minimum, so each player is game check in the Super Bowl, right? If you win, it is 100, and I think it's around 130 grand. That's how much you get for that game check, each player. Now, obviously, you get probably, you get half of that. So,
You mean like after taxes and stuff?
yeah, so each player's getting like 75 grand minimum for that week. The losing team each player gets $103,000 that game, even if you fucking lose. So, I mean, yeah, the Chiefs lost. Oh, I'm sure that all those players are so sad. Like it's crazy the money that is involved. So then when you thinking about like that'll make that, like, that part makes me happy for my buddy more than, I guess, being a Super Bowl champ is, just because he has a family. And, I'm sure the ring will be cool for a while, but I'm sure, he's pretty excited where he's at.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, I want to show you something really quick. So, did you know that there was a CrossFitter in the in a Super Bowl commercial this year?
I did not.
Yeah. So this girl's dad owns a CrossFit gym, and her and her sister are have this account. It's called the Fittest. I'll pull it up. I can't remember, but I think it's called like the Fittest Young CrossFitter or something. Big account, big account, and the girls are absolutely amazing. But she did this. She got a dub. Just raised in a CrossFit gym. And I wonder, they didn't tag. Oh, damn, they didn't tag it. Let me see if I can pull up the account. Let me see if I can pull up the account here. Let's see. I'll ask her dad. Hold on. This is her dad right here. Franco, what's up, dude?
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you? This is Tyson Bagent. Tyson, meet Franco.
Franco, what's going on, my man?
How are you, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad.
Speaking of money, congratulations on getting in the Super Bowl commercial for your daughter. That's crazy.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not something that we were expecting. It was just like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, wow. You have now your daughter has more Super Bowl showings than Tyson.
Yeah. It all started because one of our members, who's a good friend of ours, she told us about the audition, and we just did it. And then they ended up selecting her, and she ended up being picked out of, I think it was like 500 girls.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Tyson, you grew up in a CrossFit gym, basically, right? You grew up CrossFitting.
Yeah. I think it started. My dad started putting us through those workouts when I was about 8. Ezra was about 4 or 5.
Crazy. So, yeah, look at this. And this is her older sister. This is your older daughter, Franco.
Yeah, that's Winter. She's 6 years old. She's been doing
that's exactly how it started right there, stacking those plates. Me and Ezra used to do that shit all the time.
How old were you when you started doing CrossFit with your dad?
Around 8 or 9.
Oh, wow. And your dad owned an affiliate?
Yeah, he did. He ended up owning an affiliate for about 4 or 5 years, from the time I was like maybe 10 or 11 till 14 or 15. CrossFit, it was CrossFit 304.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was pretty sweet.
So you do an audition of 500 people. That's how Tyson got on the Bears too. He did like an audition with like 500 people.
Exactly. Damn, a Super Bowl commercial. Wow, that's pretty sweet.
And then, so how do you get the call, Franco? What happens? How do you know when you finally get it? I mean, it's good. The odds are so slim, right?
Yeah, they kept narrowing down the amount of girls, but it all started with my older daughter. My older daughter, Winter. We submitted a video for her, and they liked her, and then we also submitted like their Instagram account, and the agency that was doing the casting saw my other daughter, and since she also fit the range, they asked me to submit a video of her doing it, and obviously, since she's younger, they went with Sky, who's my youngest, and she's 3 years old.
Wow.
And how did they shoot the commercial? Well, first of all, is that your wife in the back with the stroller?
No, that's somebody else.
Just an extra.
It's an extra. Yeah, everybody that you see on set is an extra. It's
Hey,
pretty.
Was your older daughter pissed when they chose the younger one?
Well, the thing that I was going to talk about is like my wife, like the way that she handles everything is like I wouldn't be able to do it. You know, she like the way she talks to both of them to make sure that they both feel included. You know, it's perfect. Like I would probably mess it up. You know, I'd be worried about, but my wife just the way she talks to both of them, it makes it about the fact that it was a team effort. You know, not just the fact that one of them was selected.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so they call you and you go to the set, and do they do the whole shoot in one day? Is it a one-day event?
Yeah, it was all done in one day. It was like, I mean, it was something that like we never done before. You know, we get there, and as soon as you get there, they're like, oh, she's a talent, and then they start like the way they treat you is like ridiculous. I'm pretty sure Tyson knows, being the quarterback of an NFL team, how he gets treated when he goes into a big event.
Dance, monkey dance, monkey dance. Dance, monkey dance. That's what it feels like.
But it's like, oh, this is the talent. Put her here, this and that, you know.
Yeah.
But from the beginning, like Sky went first, and then they told us that the fact that she was going first was a good thing, you know, because most likely whoever gets recorded first is the person that they might end up choosing.
Oh, so they had a bunch of different girls do the run?
Oh, well, throughout the auditions, they had a bunch of different girls, but the day of, they had 4 girls. Like the girls were from different places, but then they didn't tell you who they were going to select out of those 4 girls, and they all got recorded. They all did like the running. I think Sky ran about, I would say 200 meters about 10 times.
Wow.
Yeah, she recorded for 2.5 hours of just running. And it was
did she cry at all during the shoot? Was she like, I've had enough, or no, she was great?
I mean, you know how it is because you do it with your kids, but like Sky was running, but then me and Winter were on the opposite side of the camera running, and so was my wife, and she was like chasing us. So like when you see her smiling and all that stuff, she's literally just trying to catch up to us.
Wow.
And then in between the runs, we would just like pick her up and then like talk to her, and then she would, I mean, she never asked to stop. And then when she finished, she asked if we were going to come back tomorrow to do it again.
So when it's all done, you don't know you're picked?
No, we didn't know. I think this was, I'm pretty bad with time frames, but I think this was like November. And it wasn't until I'd say like a week ago that we found out that she was picked. It was like January something, 20 something.
And will they keep re-airing the commercial, or is it a one and done?
There is a contract, I believe, for a 1 year, but I don't know the process. I don't know if they keep replaying it or how that works.
Wow. Well, congratulations. That's truly incredible. And what's the name of your gym, Franco?
It's CrossFit Unbounded. It's in Miami, near the airport.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just at, what is it? What's Guido Trinidad's gym? Peak 360.
Yeah, Peak 360. That's in Coral Gables.
Yeah, I was just over there this past week, so I'll have to, next time I'm in Miami, I'll have to stop by.
That's
CrossFit
awesome.
Unbounded. It's right by the airport, you're saying?
Yeah, it's close to the airport. It's in the city called Doral.
That's awesome. Are you doing the open, Franco?
Yeah, I'm doing it. I do it every year.
Are you doing it, Tyson?
I am.
Are you signed up?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not signed up yet. Are you signed up yet, Franco?
Not yet. I've been a little busy.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely sign up. I think I've done it 12 years in a row already, or maybe a little more.
Beast.
Damn, that's half of Tyson's life.
Yeah, it is.
I just don't know if I'll make that 1% this year. It's getting pretty difficult.
Any stories you want to share with us about the experience? Anything like that we would be surprised about?
Well, taking advantage that Tyson's here. I'm pretty sure his dad. I can relate with his dad a lot. But coaching people, year after year, you learn a lot of things, and I feel like that's kind of like what helps me with my daughters.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure your dad felt the same way. Like as you watch people move, as you watch people react to certain workouts, you're able to apply those things like towards your kids, and that's mainly the reason, why who you are, And I feel like that's what I'm trying to do with my daughters, just set them up to have the best example and future for them.
Yeah, I would say just as many movement patterns as possible, aka every single sport that you could possibly imagine doing, and just like you're already doing, just continue to see how they react to the pain, because I think that's so super helpful.
Oh, the pain, you mean of just working hard, pushing hard?
Yeah, just working through the aches and pains of whatever the workout is that day.
Yeah.
Go
ahead,
sorry
Franco.
to interrupt you, Savannah. The other thing is, I was coaching like my daughters just by themselves individually, like, and then I looked up on YouTube. I put like kids doing CrossFit, and nothing would pop out except like really old videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how I came across Savan. I saw Savan's kids account, the Three Playing Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought that it was awesome. There was somebody else that was doing something similar to what I was doing. So I feel like if there was more people out there that are doing something similar, like they shouldn't, be like afraid to like post stuff just because it's kids.
Yeah. And talking about that, my dad used to always bring people around that he thought could beat me or my brother in whatever it is that we were doing, which I think is also helpful, because then it's like a whole nother, you're talking about a whole nother level of intensity and competitiveness that you could couple with the fact of all the other good shit that you're already doing.
Or else then you end up just being the best kid everywhere you go, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah. And you're doing a lot of the same things I did with my kids, Franco. I see tennis, gymnastics. Those are all things that like the balance beams, just all that stuff. I forgot I even had this account. This is crazy. Yeah, this is probably all the same stuff that you did, right? Or that are
very similar, very similar.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome when I found it. I was like, wow, this guy does the same thing that I do.
Yeah, you just got to do it. You're lucky you own a gym that you can go in and do that stuff with them.
Yeah, and I mean, and I've also built like the kids class that I have around like what I've been doing with them. And kind of like what Tyson is saying, there's like different like boys or girls that are better than them at pull-ups, better than them at jumping. And just the fact that they want to beat them in everything, at least when it comes to them, it helps them like do things like jump to heights that they're afraid of, or like try to, different things.
Yeah, that's
awesome. Just helps them challenge themselves.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't even remember this day. That dog's dead. Okay. That dog passed away last week. Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, Tyson, your dad went through some pressures too, in terms of the fact that I remember him wanting to spend so much time with you and to coach your teams, and he was getting pressure from family members that he should be spending his time elsewhere. And I remember him when you got, I think it was when you got accepted to college. He just said, dude, I'm a genius. And I go, why? I go, because Tyson just makes me a genius. and it's hard, right? Because he wanted to raise his kids, and some people think that you should be out doing different shit.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's what I was having a conversation with my buddy the other day of like, because his dad also was super involved. Like he was our basketball coach like our whole life. And I was like, now you're a little bit older, you realize the pressures of the world as like a grown up, and unbelievably stupid lucky. Seriously, is really only way you could put it. It's just crazy to think about that, because there definitely is that pressure, especially if you're not killing it financially. There's always that pressure of like, you know, it's not seen if you're in the backyard throwing the football with your kids and you're having financial issues. It's like, why aren't you?
Yeah.
It's like some people look at that and like, oh, what a dumbass, what an idiot. You know, he needs his priorities straightened out, whatever it is. So, could only imagine. Yeah, thank God. Yeah, thank God I made it, because that would have been tragic if it just would have. You know.
My mom wanted me to get a job at Starbucks so I'd have insurance for the family.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I just use Sky as an example, right? So Sky, there was the other girls. The other girls are running after, but the other girls are running like one time, and they're getting tired, and the sun is bothering them, right? I'm there like with my wife. We're training with Sky. She's running, but we're not thinking about this, right? But the fact that she did those things allows her to be able to do something like this, you know. And then it just played like it pays off eventually, you know.
Yeah.
But without intentionally being like, oh, I'm gonna do this because of this, you know. It's just spending time with your kids and things that are good for them.
Yeah, and just seeing the difference of kids that when their parents are super involved with them from a physical standpoint, for just the reverse of what we were just talking about. Maybe you've got a dad who's a businessman who's, you know, out and about, you know, always got to travel, always away, not as involved. The difference of kid is like the product is so different, and it's so noticeable that it is like, you know, I would do what my dad did over 100 times over, rather than, you know, have to be on the road traveling, not being there, you know, with my kids. And one story that plays into that really well. One of my best friends in the whole world, name is Derek Gallagher. He was my psychology teacher in high school. He used to train in my dad's gym back in the day. And he has 3 kids, and he's a teacher. And when he's not teaching, he's with his kids doing all kind. You know, he's in CrossFit. He makes his kids. They're outside all day. They don't have any technology. They don't have any technology in the house. You know, it's a tightly run ship. And I was just telling him, like, I was like, damn, Derek, like, your freaking kids are. I just hope you know that how different your kids are from other kids that I see. And he was just looking at me. He was like, you want to fucking know why? Because I'm always around these motherfuckers. As soon as they do some goofy, silly shit, I look at them and I say, hey, that was some goofy, silly shit you just did right there. Just so you know. And just that constant, you know, kind of just like the tinkering of your kids, being able to just create them into whoever it is. You know, obviously you want them to be great, but you can also make your kids cool for you. Like, you can make your kids whoever the hell you want them to be. So there's just a huge difference when, you know, people are just there and on their kids in a good way, obviously. But
your dad was good at making it fun. That's what I remember too. Like, you can't be. Your dad was good at making it fun. Like,
it'd be like at the end, at the end of a fucking workout, it's like, all right, now we've got this relay race, or it was always if you can figure that out, which I think obviously you two know what I'm talking about, just because you guys, you know, embody it in real life. It's a complete difference, I'm sure, when you roll up on other people's kids, and they, you know, not that they're bad kids, but you can just see the difference.
Yeah. I remember being in your basement, Tyson. It's one of your houses. It was the one across the street from the cemetery. I don't remember how old you were. You were really young, and Ezra was even younger. He was probably like 5. How much older are you than him?
4 years.
Okay, so he was 5 and you were probably 9, and we're in the basement. He's got this bucket of those like really tiny footballs, and he's making run patterns in the basement. And every time you would drop him, he would just tearing you guys up, like making fun of you. And it was you two against him, and it was so fun. I have the footage somewhere. It was so funny, and it was intense, but you guys loved it. You know what I mean? It was like you were the only way you could fight this giant 250-pound man. Was every catch was kind of like, yeah, we fucked you up, and every time you dropped one, it was like it was great. I remember thinking, okay, if I ever have kids, I'm doing it like this. And he just worked you guys, and you guys were there for it, relentless.
Especially thinking now, like, how much energy kids have and stuff, and just you gotta let them freak out just on some, whatever athletic prowess thing that you got to do it. You got to do it. And shit, I had to be locked in when I was little. Ezra was the greatest little kid athlete in the history of little kid athletes. Like, I was 9 and he was 5.5, and he was, damn near better, more coordinated than me at everything. Like, so that was part of that competition thing. But yeah, that's just a result of kind of like we're talking about when you're in the basement.
How was your dad with nutrition? Was he strict with you guys, or how?
No. Man, we just told you we just told you we were struggling financially. We were eating ramen noodles. We were eating ramen noodles in West Virginia. But shit, I didn't know that. And we also had so much family around that it was never like we were always, But no, nutrition wise, I'm really like the first in my family to, and really the only one. My dad is like, we have this buddy, this balance guy. I don't know if you know him, Jim Klopman. He does the slack block that Savans has his kids doing sometimes.
I have one thanks to Savan.
Nice. And I have one.
So the guy who made that piece of equipment, he had came up to train me for balance last offseason to kind of give me a huge introductory blueprint on how to use the equipment, whatever. So we're training for a couple of days. And this dude is, Jim Klopman's 72 years old, 71, 72, but looks like he's about 55 years old, right? Moves around like he's 55, can jump on a basketball and just balance. Like, dude, he's different from a lot of other people. Takes his nutrition very serious, and my dad does not. My dad likes Mountain Dew. He likes to hang out, whatever. And Jim made a comment like, "Yeah, Travis, you need to do this, do that, blah blah blah." And my dad said, "Jim, I'm a 20-time world champion. Go talk to somebody else about that bullshit." I don't need that shit, Jim. You need that shit. I'm the world champ. I'm good. So yeah, that's kind of the extent of what he thinks about that. So
it's crazy because, like, for example, like I come across Savan, right? And then I just like slowly watch our podcast, and then all the things that I see that you do are like, wow, like he's different than like what everybody considers to be normal. So like people could, for example, judge you, Savan, for those things. But when you start to look at the things that you do, it's like, wow, like this dude, like he really cares. He knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? And like example, like a lot of the members in my gym watch our podcast, and they're like, oh no, like they like some of them don't like you, but then the ones I'm like, just watch and pay attention. Look how he is with his kids. Look at the things that he says. And then, it's just society doesn't want to accept like the fact that you're different, but being different is what makes you like special.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, being different today almost is just being normal. It almost is. That's almost like when you are a weirdo, you think you're normal and you think everybody else is crazy. At least that's the way I think about it. I look at everybody who's not doing what you two are doing and what my dad did, and I'm looking at them like, man, I don't know about that. But everybody else is like, yeah, this is the way to go. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to eat. You're supposed to eat this. You're supposed to go to Chick-fil-A all the time. You're supposed to do whatever. That's normal. But then when you really put yourself through the trudgery of doing it the right way or the weird way, it's tough to go back. And it's tough to go back, and you start realizing everybody's kids are fucking, however they are, and it's tough.
Do you send your kids to school, Franco? Are you going to? Or you're gonna homeschool or homeschool? Yeah. And
that's
Tyson,
another thing we have in common.
Yeah, and Tyson, you kind of had to go to school because that's where that was your pathway to the NFL, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I played for like my school's sports teams and stuff. So yeah.
Like you can't go to the NFL if you don't go to school.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Basically.
You
ever met a homeschool guy in the NFL? Like a guy who was homeschooled?
I have not.
Yeah, interesting. What were you gonna say, Franco? Sorry.
Is it because you have to play high school, you'd say?
No, and I don't know, but I mean, maybe I think you could be homeschooled and still play for that school as long as you're like homeschooling, their curriculum or whatever. There's probably avenues to it. I'm sure there's somebody that's been homeschooled that's made it to the NFL.
Wasn't Tim Tebow homeschooled?
Oh, that's a good question. I would not be
so.
surprised if he was.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tyson, your agent has your agent been in contact with the New York Giants yet? They need a quarterback. You need a starting job. What are we waiting for?
Yeah, I don't know. That's not how it works. I don't know how to answer that question.
Thank you, Pat. Did Tyson watch Gruden's QB camp growing up?
Yes. John Gruden is like my favorite football person in the world. Sometimes when I'm bored, I just look up John Gruden mic'd up and just listen to this dude talk. And yeah, I love Gruden.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Jeffrey Birchfield, Tyson, can you give someone one of the calls you have to remember and how they apply to each member of the offense? Are you allowed to do that even?
All right, so here we go. I'll do it right now. Do it with one that's fresh from the end of the year. We got West right swipe, Z flap, 15 Wanda F sift, alert Z creep, 12 duo Z search. Double cadence, ready, break. So now I go up to the line. We got West right swipe, Z flap, 15 Wanda F sift, alert, Z creep, 12 duo Z search. So the alert, everything I say before the alert is the first play. After the alert, that's the second play. Now with this play, we're West right swipe, 12 personnel means we got 2 tight ends to the right. We got 2 receivers to the left, right? West right swipe. Swipe is talking to the alignment with the receivers. West right swipe, Z flap, that's the motion. The Z is coming in motion across the formation. As soon as he crosses me, I'm going to snap it. We're running 15 Wanda F sift. F is sifting backside for the backside linebacker. Or no, he's sifting for the backside DN. We're running a weak side run to the left. Now, if we get the safety rotated down to the side of the play, easy, because I went on the double cadence. So I go up there, ready, Todd? All right, bam, safety showing up. Now we're alerting it to Z creep, 12 duo Z search, right? So alert. Now everybody on the field knows that we're running the second play. Right, so now I'm going to send the Z creep motion, and creep is just what creep would mean. That's just a made up word that we use for the Z to kind of, just creep his way in a little bit, right? Then we're going to run 12 duo Z search. The Z is then searching backside for whoever the force defender is, defensive back wise. So obviously you're going to put our fat boys on their fat boys, our medium-sized guys on their medium-sized guys, and our little guys on their little guys, right? So now Z creep 12 duo Z search, the Z is looking for any little guy because he's a little guy. So whoever the most dangerous little guy is, bam, probably the safety because I just alerted it because he was down. Now we're running 12 duo Z search. And that's just, just a simple run. That's just a simple run play. So just the amount of depth and craziness that this shit is unbelievably fascinating and crazy.
How many of those do you know?
There's probably close to like 100 plays on the script, but some of them are new plays, some of them are recycled plays that we didn't run the week before, some of them are just specific for that week, who we're playing, what the defensive structure is, where their good players are at. It all just changes week to week.
God, I can't believe and that's why some dudes have that like thing on their wrist, like that book, that plastic stuff.
The swim. It's funny because I played high school football, and that's nothing like high school football. It's like 20.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's almost a different sport. It's almost a different sport
Yeah.
Once you get to like the NFL. It's like it's completely like a mental chess match rather than, at least in my position. But I think in every position too, it's just so in depth. You have to be so good, but then realize everybody else is so good. So then you got to be so good mentally to try to beat them to the spot, or else, it'll never work out. So it's crazy.
I played right tackle, and then our quarterback would sometimes forget the plays, and he would send us the wrong way, and I'd be like, "Yo, you're sending us the wrong way," and he'd be like, "Oh shoot, and he would just run back and come back.
Nah, he was like, yeah, right, dumbass, do the right shit. I called the right play. Hey, Coach, Franco fucked it all up again.
Does that happen in the NFL too? Do you see that? Like when you guys are watching tape and everyone's watching tape and everyone sees one guy do the wrong thing and everyone's like, looks at the dude?
Yeah, some years more than others. But yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
God, that's crazy.
It gets crazy.
Hey, are you training? I saw Andrew made a post with you on his training account. Are you training with him?
I am. I've been getting after it. I'm in week 5 of Hiller's programming.
Oh, you're actually doing you are doing his program.
His programming now. I'm not doing Monday through Saturday. His programming. I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesdays I've been swimming. Saturdays usually I'll work out with whatever my friends are doing. But yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday been hitting it with Hiller. Actually got to go up and train with him for a couple days earlier this week, and yeah, it's been great. It's a lot of fun too, because this is really the 2.5 month time frame where I'm able to do all these things without being worried about, my upper body being sore. Like, this is the time to like build strength in my upper body before I start, getting back into the football side of things here sometime in March.
How do you get along with him good? Like in his presence? Like, are you guys have good?
Oh yeah, me and Hiller are tight. Yeah, it's my guy.
Good chemistry.
Awesome.
Yeah. If he gets around the wrong person, he'll just turn off. So he doesn't do that to you. He likes you.
Turn off what? Like be quiet?
Yeah, he'll just basically he could just turn. You know what I mean? Like if someone overwhelms him or something, or starts like putting too much pressure on him, like demand on him.
It's been super. Yeah, because I told him
I don't picture you as a high maintenance person, by the way. But he runs away from that shit.
Especially me and him have got tight through obviously, a lot of the videos we've made. And then it was like, I know last year I kind of went into just really just lifting heavy. And I was like, like I said, burnt out from the season. I'm looking for anything hard to do that doesn't involve football. And I kind of went a little too hard maybe right out the gate after last football season. So kind of talking with him, I was like, hey, listen, I really want to CrossFit for real for about 2.5 months, really get into it, get, in super great shape, all the things. I don't want to put a shit ton of weight over my head. I don't want to deadlift 400 pounds. I don't want to do any of that goofy ass shit. So every day, every night, usually I'll call him. We'll talk for about 10 minutes on, hey, you're going to do the Thursday programming, but, hey, take this out, or, hey, use this weight, or use this instead of that. So it's been, and it's super open dialogue too. Like, I don't feel any pressure to tell him that, man, hey, the weight was too heavy, or, I'll just be like, yeah, that weight was a little heavy, or, I'm gonna go lighter on this, and just kind of going back and forth. It's been great so far.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
hey, Franco, where are you from?
I was born in Peru, but I grew up in California pretty much my whole life until the end of high school. I moved to Miami.
So you're first generation in the States?
Yeah, my parents are Peru.
And did they come too? Are your parents here?
Yeah, I moved here with them, and then their job got switched over to Miami when I was in high school, so we moved over to Miami. I think it was like my sophomore year of high school that we moved to Miami.
And is your wife born in the States?
My wife is Colombian. She was born in Colombia, but she was brought here also when she was little. She played tennis, so they moved her here to pursue like her tennis career. She was pretty good. She was top 10 in the state of Florida. And
I could tell your girls have good form. Like, they're not playing tap tennis. Someone's obviously teaching them how to play tennis.
Yeah, they have a great coach. But my wife did play, and then her dad he played ping pong for represented Colombia. So they have a good background. Maybe not on my side, but from her side, they have a pretty decent background. I guess what would help on my side would be that I consider myself like a workhorse. I could work forever. Not the most gifted athlete, but I feel like that also might help it in some way, as an athletic background for the girls.
Well, that's important too.
But no, the thing that I wanted to say was, ask you guys or what you guys thought. Why do you guys think that not a lot of professional athletes are doing CrossFit as a training methodology? And the reason why I bring this up is living in Miami, I've coached a lot of baseball players, MLB players, and during the off season, and every single one that actually is consistent does way better the next season. Like the last guy that I coached, he got dropped from the Marlins. He trained like the whole off season with me. He goes back to San Diego, starts in San Diego, has like the best season that he's had in a while, and then he gets traded for money. But it's just
I think everybody, a lot of good athletes. I think there's a part of it that a lot of athletes are wanting to train fast twitch all the time. Me, I don't really do CrossFit because I think it'll make me a better quarterback. I think it'll make me, obviously a lot healthier and in a lot more in shape. But you do have to, because I can't do CrossFit year round and still be quick twitch, jumping high, running fast. I'll be in shape. I'll be able to go for longer than everybody, but I'll be able to go at maybe a slightly slower pace the whole time, as opposed to, a CrossFit workout is hard over a period of time. Football is hard for 5 seconds at a time. So short bursts of energy. And same thing with baseball. It's like you're in the outfield, you're not doing anything. Then boom, I got to run a 40-yard dash and catch this pass and then throw it home as fast as I can. So I think that there's maybe a little bit of a fear, but I think overwhelmingly everybody's so fucking soft that they would never want to put themselves through that in their off-season chill time of the year. Is what I think overwhelming majority of athletes would say.
I was talking to a guy.
Yeah, if you're not introduced to CrossFit and then you're 24-year-old dude in the off-season, and somebody makes you do Fran, you'll just tell them that you don't ever want to see them ever again in your whole life. Get as far away from me as possible. They'll probably think that you hurt some. They'll probably think that, their quads are, torn and will never be the same. And that feeling is so foreign. That's why it's important to do it when you're a kid, so you can get used to, feeling that fire in your chest and your lungs not working the same. But yeah, I think it's probably pretty scary if you're just starting that shit as a grown individual, because after
you gotta have like for example, like the players that do well are the players that like a lot of things are on the line and they have like a chip on their shoulder and they're like, oh, I have to do this, and like that's why they end up doing well.
I agree.
I was talking to a guy the other day at the UFC, senior guy over at the UFC, and we were talking, and the impression I got from him is that they all do CrossFit, but if you tell them it's CrossFit, they don't want to do it. But like clearly, if you watch the UFC and you watch Embedded and you've been watching it for like the last 10 or 15 years, you can see like they weren't doing CrossFit before and now they are. And it's kind of a trip. Like I don't know, because we're so immersed in it, I don't see what the chip on the shoulder is. Just maybe I don't know what the issue is, but a lot of people are doing it. And they just don't even know it. It's just crept into. It's just crept into fucking everywhere.
Yeah, and I think CrossFit's also done a good job of evolutionizing into being able to help the really good athlete. Like now there's a little more focus on like quick twitch, jumping the posterior chain. Like because I think the original start of CrossFit, it was not a lot of hamstring. Just not a lot of hamstring work, which is a lot of where, like, if you get your hamstrings strong, that's half the battle of becoming faster. And I think that now a lot of athletes, a lot of coaches know that, a lot of athletes know that. So you see dudes, they'll superset, and like a sports player athletic movement, prior to their workout, which I think is, I think it's making the CrossFit athletes a lot better, obviously. But just like with anything, as more time goes on and there's more cameras around, people are just held to a higher standard and, are trying to encapsulate more things all into one. So I think that has been one of the positives with like kind of the evolution of CrossFit.
Tyson, did you do that? Go ahead, Franco. Go ahead.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No. Go ahead.
Another crazy thing is like you'll see, like you said, like you'll see professional athletes being coached by certain people and you see them doing certain movements and it's like that person's not even doing the movement the right way. They're like how could you be a professional athlete, be paying this person all this money, and it's like how they don't know what they're doing.
The LeBron squatting video is just classic.
It doesn't make sense. Like how did that person get to that place? Like
so painful to watch.
Placebo. Everything works if you think it works.
Oh, all right, okay.
Hey, LeBron, hey, are we critiquing LeBron's squat? What are the best basketball player of all time? It's kind of like Same thing my dad said, I guess, in a sense of like, yo, Jim, I'm not worrying about what I eat. I'm the 20-time world champion. If you try to tell LeBron he squats wrong, LeBron will be like, well, who are you? Franco and Savon. I'm LeBron James. Y'all critiquing my squat. I'm the best to ever do it. So it's like, it's weird. You got to kind of think about it in so many different ways of just, you never know what works for somebody versus what works for somebody else.
So what do you guys think? If he was
now I know why you like the squad so much.
Back what I said.
Now I know why you like the squad. That shit makes you horny, Tyson.
I take back what I said. We need to call LeBron right now. We need to call my guy immediately. Oh my God, he's so wide. Wow. Well, maybe that's what happens when you're 7 foot tall and you're trying to squat with a barbell. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you think that if he was taught how to do it the right way, he would be even better as an athlete? What is your
maybe it'll ruin him. Maybe it'll ruin him.
He's the best. He is the best. He is the best of all time, and he's 40.
He can't be better than that.
He's 40 something, still doing it. Like, who knows?
Yeah. Hey, I think what you're saying has a lot of validity too. Like, yeah, he's the best of all time. Like, what are you gonna do? Yeah.
Now, if you had some player in the G League that was squatting like that, there's room for improvement there. You'd be like, hey man, maybe you can make it to the NBA if you start squatting right. But to tell LeBron, I don't know.
Oh shit. Okay. This is fair. You guys are retarded laughing at him over something you don't understand. He's getting ready for the Diddy party. All right. Fair. I apologize. I completely apologize. That I was I thought I knew something I didn't know. All right. Anything else, Franco, you'd like to say?
I think that you should keep posting on your kid's account. I know you don't have a lot of time, but I think it's awesome.
Okay.
It motivates people.
Yeah. All right. I'll take that. I'll take that advice. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for raising beautiful daughters. We need good sons and good daughters out there moving forward. And tell the people at your gym, thank you for everything they do. Even the ones who don't like me, like, hey, I'm not stupid. I understand why you don't like me. That's probably that's a healthy. Those are healthy people. They have a good radar. Tell them it's good radar.
I will. And then there's a guy who loves you in our gym. His name is Yosmel. So if you can give him a shout out.
I love Yosmel. He's my favorite. What? Say his name again. You smell?
Yosmel. He's Cuban. He's an awesome dude.
Yosmel. Thank you very much, brother. Yeah, isn't it interesting? The people who like the show are like always the least likely to like the show. Like it's so great. I love the crew of people that I've attracted. So thank you. Tell them thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for helping me share this message with everybody.
Yes, brother. And I hope we can talk again too. I'm glad we've connected through DMs and through text. Text me anytime. I'd love to have you on anytime you want to come on.
Perfect. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Tyson.
Right, Franco, see you, brother.
Congrats on your daughter.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing that.
Hell yeah. Wow. Super Bowl commercial. That's hard to do.
Yeah, I like whoring you out when you're on the show. Like having other like, hey, look at my friend Tyson. Look at him. Okay, so off season, train, family. Is it enjoy lifetime? Like just like kind of like take some deep breaths.
Yeah, killing it right now. Killing it.
Anything cool you'll do? Camping trip? Go to Ibiza?
All right, I'm going to Barcelona and Ibiza.
Seriously,
5 days in Barcelona, 5 days in Ibiza at the end, but it's not till the end of June. I'm doing that in like the end of June.
Do you have to have a talk with yourself before you go on a trip like that? Like, hey, be cool.
Nah, I don't know. I'm just gonna go have a good time. I don't know. I'm going with 4 of my buddies, and none of us have been really out of the country like that before, so it'll be pretty cool.
And is there someone who is take charge of like the group? Like, yeah, there is like
or at least our like.
Is there a chaperone guy? Like,
we have different dudes handle different things. Like I booked it all, and then everybody paid me, and then we have one of our buddies. He's like he handled all the Airbnb and all the the plane tickets and what ideas and shit like that. So I feel like we got, and it's not for forever. So I mean, we've got time.
I'm just thinking more specifically, like just one dude who's sober all the time. Like he keeps.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get tore up like that. So, but yes, we've also the granddad of the crew will be there. So, he'll be there. My buddy Mikey McCook. Shout out to Mikey McCook. Just got engaged to his lady. He'll be on the trip with us.
So he keeps his head on a swivel.
He's locked in. He's cynical as fuck. So he'll keep us in check.
Awesome. All right, dude. Thanks for coming on. Congratulations. I'm stoked. I'm just so stoked for you. Yeah. You're a great role model. And I'll see you around, dude. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anytime. I'll talk to you.
All right. Cheers.
See you.
Tyson Bagent. Franco Gianfranco Dubac. How proud is that guy? He's stoked. 2 great daughters, great wife, great gym. What a great show. Proud of myself. So proud of myself. I saw an old video I hadn't seen in a long time. Fitness Lonnie. I wonder how many of you guys know who Fitness Lonnie is. Do you guys know who that is? Look at this video. Someone sent this to me yesterday. I wonder how many of you know who Fitness Lonnie is. This is some like OG shit. This is crazy.
Fitness Lonnie. Can't be. He's not jacked enough.
CrossFitters, what is it that you fear of Anthos?
We didn't open our affiliates to work for them.
Yeah, Anthos can suck it.
Affiliates of CrossFit. I am Fitness Lonnie.
Fitness Lonnie is 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I've heard. And he's got a 90-second Fran and a CrossFit total of 2,400. And if he were here, he might destroy Anthos with fireballs from his biceps and lightning bolts from his perfectly round glutes. I am Fitness Lonnie. And I see before me an army of my fellow CrossFitters here in defiance of tyranny / corporate monkey turds. Basically corporate monkey tyranny. You want to work out as free men, but free men you are. What will you do with that freedom? Will you comply with any demand of Anthos?
I love Rich Rolling. Where's the job?
We should partner with Anthos. They'll work
That's the one.
with us.
Hey, you could sell half the company to Anthos, and they won't bother you. At first. And the next thing you know, your affiliate is forced to peddle not so pure pharma fish oil and rogue impersonation squat racks. And dying in your beds one day years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance to come back here and tell Anthos that you can buy our company, but you will never own CrossFit! Oh yeah! CrossFit! I love CrossFit!
This guy was this guy was such a legend, you guys. Fitness Lonnie. Does anyone here remember him? God, he was so great. He was so funny. He was so good. Does anyone remember him? That's some old school shit right there. I wonder if you guys even get the references to Anthos and all that shit. God, he was so good. The good old days. That was like in the Raw day. Ronnie Teasdale. Yeah, what is this? Does he got another one? Yeah, he was great. It's God, that video's got to be 10 years old, I'd say. Older, 12 years old. He commits hard to the bit. Greg's wife. Here we go. Greg's wife tried to sell the company to them, right? Yep, exactly. Someone get Heidi pregnant. She's ready. Look at this. Unbuyable days. Costas Anton. How about when Franco's like, yeah, some of my clients don't really like the show. Listen, I understand. I completely understand. I don't blame you. Some of the people who watch the show don't like the show. What are you going to do? All right, let's talk about football. This is probably the last time we'll talk about football until the Super Bowl next year. Let's talk about football. Eagles vanquish Chiefs in Super Bowl. Highlight salary cap magic. The Eagles beat the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59. Philadelphia built its roster with unique salary cap techniques used by one of the NFL's most renowned GMs. Holy shit, this looks like me right here in this photo, wearing the safety jacket. The Eagles denied the Chiefs a historic three-peat in Super Bowl 59 thanks to savvy team-building approach from one of the league's most revered GMs, Howie Roseman, Jew. Thank you. Behind every successful company, there's a Jew. Sunday night's victory, 40-0. I don't even know why they put 22. Let's just face it. It was 40 to. It was actually 51-0. That's what's weird about football, right? Or sports. It becomes such a routing that the other team realizes it doesn't need to score anymore, and the other team's just being allowed to score. And so, I don't know. Yeah, 34-0. I'll go with that. It was 34-0. Is that when the game was over? I really like that, Augustus. So they only played to halftime and it was 34-0. Is that? Yeah, I think that's fair. Sunday night's 34-0 victory over Kansas gave Philadelphia its second Lombardi trophy. That's the Super Bowl trophy, meaning they won the Super Bowl. Validated the franchise's commitment to new age roster construction, testament to owner Jeffrey Lurie's beliefs in his front office. So just a quick thing about football. Football is not a pure sport in the sense it's not like CrossFit. You know what I mean? There's you'll never really know. If people say that the CrossFitter is not the fittest person in the world, well, then clearly it's 100 times more rational to say you'll never know who the best football team is in the world, because it's basically just the best football team based on the NFL, based on the fact of who went to school, based on which players get together. I mean, you would be insane to think that you couldn't, if you had access to all 8 billion people on the fucking planet, that you couldn't find a group of guys to put together to beat the Eagles, which you easily could. And so it's just not that I'm disputing it or saying anything wrong with it or judging it. I think it's great. I think there's football. I think we have the Super Bowl champs. But don't stay when you see on the internet people like, well, how do we know that guy's the fittest? Well, just the net that's cast to determine who the fittest man in the world is, and the fact that we have a very strict definition around what is fitness, makes it more valid than calling them the best football team on planet Earth right now. That's why they call it the Super Bowl champs and not the best football team on Earth. So there you go. There's that. Take that. I hope that fucking rubbed up against some people wrong, but it's the truth. That's what's so fucking amazing about CrossFit. Credit to our coach, staffed by Nick Serrani, Howie, and his staff. Unbelievable. And by the way, about 200 other people that are the support staff that you'll never hear about. So big teams, lots of money. Led by quarterback Jalen Hurts. He was this year's Super Bowl MVP. And Saquon, what a great name. Saquon Barkley. Wonder how many Saquons there are. Do you think there's any white dudes named Saquon? If I Google images, Saquon. This Eagles roster was built to win and relied on a burgeoning new salary cap technique to do it. You think there's any white dudes named Jesus? Jesus? I wonder what names, or like any, like, you think there's any Jews named Mohammed? Saquon. I know, it's so great. Saquon. 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 There's probably a Japanese guy named Saquon, or a Chinese guy. Saquon. Saquon, bring me the chopsticks, Saquon. This Eagles roster was built to win now and relied on a burgeoning new salary cap technique to do it. The implementation of void years. I don't know what that means. That's probably just leftover money or something that they didn't spend that they were able to bring to this year. Those stretch players cap hit past the seasons included in his contract to ensure additional cap space in the short term. So that's like football jargon for moving money around and cheating. And while the Eagles already have more than $1.2 billion in cap allocations, wow, between 2025 and 2030, the most in the NFL, much of their core is young. Hurts, Barkley, and receiver A.J. Brown are all under 30. And multiple players have years left on their contract. Sirianni, is that the coach? Sirianni? That guy looked Armenian as fuck. He's Italian. Sirianni has been making $7 million per season, while Roseman's salary is unknown. So the coach makes $7 million a year. The Eagles will likely be looking for a new offensive coordinator, though, as Kellen Moore is believed to be taking the Saints head coaching position. Oh, okay. There was some. This isn't the article that I wanted. Where is the shit? When I clicked this on my phone, there was more. Oh, here. This one's interesting too. The Chiefs face uncertain stadium future after three-peat denied. So that title makes me think that they were hoping to win their third Super Bowl, and then they would get the city of Kansas so fucking excited in a frenzy that they would all vote to have higher taxes to build them a new stadium. I'm guessing that's what the premise is here. The Chiefs were unable to three-peat as Super Bowl champions, and now the franchise faces an uphill battle to sort out its future at Arrowhead Stadium or elsewhere. While the Chiefs were unable to become the first NFL team in history to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls, they will likely be just fine on the field. Patrick Mahomes continues to go against the trend of star quarterbacks squeezing as much money as they can out of their teams and instead helps Kansas manage its salary cap. That's interesting. Oh, this whole story popped up on my phone. All right, that's all you get. That's a nice thing to say about Mahomes. I can't read you the rest of the article. All right, fuck it. That's it. That's it for football. Keeping it real, Grant. Stadiums always get approved. Can't bring up that comment. I can't bring up comments now. Oh, that's weird. Something weird happened to my... Oh, there we go. Jeez, what's going on? Yeah, interesting, right? Bernie, winning 3 of 4 is not good enough anymore. Where did I see that? I lost it. No uphill battle for the Chiefs, says Pat Lang. They have the best quarterback, the best coach, and a ton of cap space to sign great players going forward. That really was an ass beating. That was an ass whooping. I don't watch enough football to know if that was completely out of character for the Chiefs, but Kanye, someone sent me a let's see if I can. Someone sent me a few days ago a post that Kanye made that was pretty crazy. Seeing if I can find it. I can't find it, but basically the post said, I find fat bitches offensive. If you find yourself balls deep in a fat bitch, that means you're poor. It was something like that, right? And I was like, damn. I was like, and then I was on Glinton Things yesterday, and they were talking about, I guess, how Kanye's been like just like fucking Jews up and just going hard, right? And then yesterday, someone sent me this. Ye says all of his recent tweets were just a social experiment. So I guess the hating. I won. I tweeted pretty much everything I felt like for about 12 hours and still have my Twitter. Meaning, I guess he wasn't. I guess he really did feel those things, and didn't lose his Twitter account, even though he was saying stuff that may have been offensive. And most importantly, my billions. I guess he's a billionaire. I didn't know that. For some reason, I thought Kanye was poor. Thank you, everyone, for participating in this social experiment. Thank you and love to my fellow rappers. Thank you and love to all black women. Thank you and love to all gays. Thank you and love to all Jews. Thank you and love to all gay Jews. Thank you and love to all gay Jew rappers. Thank you to all you broke niggas. I don't know what he means by broke niggas there. Like not having money or like emotionally broke. Thank you to all internet trolls. And this is the crazy one. This is the crazy one. Thank you for all neurodivergence. I thought only CrossFit had neurodivergence. I thought that was a God, I'm such a simpleton. I thought that was just a class in Kevin Ogar's CrossFit Games. I called him Kevon. That's how black I am. I'm not even going to call Kevon Ogre. I'm changing his name. That ginger is now a black man. Kevon. Kevon Ogre. That's my nigga Kevon. Kevon Ogre. Thank you for all you neurodivergents. How does he know that word? I guess he's a rapper. They have big vocabularies. Oh, you don't think he means broken. You think he means financially, like got credit card debt and shit. I actually love everybody. Oh, and a special thank you to Elon. I think that's Elon Musk. I actually love everyone, especially fat women. He's a social experiment. Oh, this is so good. Being a Kanye fan is just a toxic relationship of forgiving him over and over. Post nut clarity. Can bro just take his meds? This ain't healthy. Oh my goodness. I can't hate him. So but he says he felt all of these things. So I mean, I guess. I mean, I feel things. I say I still love people that I fucking tear a new one. I still, people get torn up. Did he thank Annie Thor's daughter? No. I was talking to someone on the other day, and they told me Annie Thor's daughter was the Tony Hawk of CrossFit. I have to tell you, it's someone I love dearly and have an immense amount of respect for, but I don't know if we have a Tony Hawk. I would say OPT is more of a Tony Hawk than Annie. I don't even see Annie as like I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I don't even. I can't even. Yeah, I mean, Froning could be anything. You call him the Michael Jackson of CrossFit, the Tony Hawk, the yeah, Spieler could maybe be more Tony Hawk. Even Fraser could be Tony Hawk. I mean, he's got that kind of like that autistic focus. Anyway, Annie's coming on tomorrow. We're gonna hash out our shit. I have Annie coming on, and the guy, the CrossFit guy who turned his son into a girl. They'll both be on tomorrow, which will be good. That'll be good healing. That's gonna be good. There was this guy. I don't know if you guys, Annie the Tranny and Me. That is the name of the episode tomorrow. Annie the Tranny and Me. So good, Jake. Tomorrow, Jake Chapman's coming on. I don't have to forgive you because I don't hold anything against you. You are who you are. I accept you. And I don't even ask you to accept me. Do what you want to do. So okay, we got some good stories here. Let's see. Some stuff that I'm really passionate about. Okay, this one's good. I don't know who this is. I guess this is a famous football star. I don't even know if this guy's still alive. Is this the guy who killed himself? Ocho Cinco? Did this guy off himself? Anyone? Ocho shared a little too much info on Stephen A. Smith's show the other day. I don't know how old this is. I'm guessing this is old as shit.
Story. I was in high school at the time.
Oh Lord.
And I was losing my virginity. So we had engaged in horizontal activity.
Yes. Not vertical?
No, it was horizontal.
Okay.
Matter of fact, it was vertical.
Go ahead, keep going.
And she got to the point where we were in action, and she said in my ear, "Go deeper."
So when he says he's involved in horizontal activity, you think it's sex, and then when he says vertical, you think it's sex, but you picture him like this, right? You picture him carrying the chick, right? My kids asked me if I was stronger than Homer Simpson. I used to be able to carry my wife like that. I can't do that anymore. Those days are over. Anyway, okay. So he's this guy Ocho Cinco says he's having standing sex.
Stay with me now. And what hurt me is I was already all the way in. So I had ran out of pee-pee. And that is what caused me to get into amateur porn so I could perfect my craft in the pelvic.
God, I ruined the bit. We got to start over. Because we missed the line, the best line of the thing. Sorry. Stay with me.
Oh Lord.
And I was losing my virginity. So we had engaged in horizontal activity.
Yes. Not vertical?
No, it was horizontal.
Okay.
Matter of fact, it was vertical.
Go ahead, keep going.
And she got to the point where we were in action, and she said in my ear, "Go deeper." Stay with me now. And what hurt me is I was already all the way in. So I had ran out of pee-pee. And that is what caused me to get into amateur porn. So
you have a small dick if you call it pee-pee. Can you clip I ran out of pee-pee? Yeah, like if you call your penis a pee-pee, like you just have a small dick. I ran out of pee-pee. So he's carrying a girl, having sex with her, and he said, she whispers in his ear, "Put it deeper," but he says, "I ran out of pee-pee." And that's just like, yeah, that must have hurt.
I could perfect my craft in the pelvic area so I would never have to hear that again.
You do understand the cameras are rolling.
Yeah,
you understand. I mean, do you really, really want people to know this? I mean, I can edit it out. Bro.
No, don't edit it out. I told you I don't have a private life. I'm here to share my stories and my shortcomings. Back then, I've had surgery. Free small story. I was in high school at the time.
So he says back then he's had surgery. Wait till you hear this shit.
Since then, so I'm good.
So what you're trying to say is that who you are now,
completely different,
is manufactured because it was surgically enhanced.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Surgical enhancement. We usually hear about females with that stuff,
right?
Not men.
So why can't we? Why can't we? I want to feel better about myself.
How long was the surgery, man?
It took about 15 minutes.
Surgery was 15 minutes.
Yeah, only $8 grand.
Excuse me?
Only 8 grand. So I went from 3 to 11 inches like this.
So you just gonna tell the world you were 3 inches? I didn't ask you that question. You know,
I know.
You didn't have to say
But
that.
I'm just trying to get better context on where I was to where I am now.
How the hell could that happen in 15 minutes? It got me curious now.
So Stephen A. Smith is flustered because he doesn't want to be interested. He didn't want the interview going, but now he said 3 to fucking 11 inches and 8 grand. You know, I was thinking about how they did that, if that story's like even true. But I think I saw one time that how they make guys' dicks bigger through surgery is they somehow release a portion of the penis that's like wrapped underneath to the taint or the chode. I mean, yeah, he's definitely bullshitting. Yeah, like I definitely I mean, it's completely ridiculous. Is this a recent interview? Listen, if you have a tiny dick, do not have surgery. Do not fuck with your dick at all. Be happy with the one you have. Unless you had Peyronie's, then you should have surgery and have that shit straightened out. You can have that shit released. Oh, this is a bit? Oh, good. Well, that makes me feel better. Anyway, okay. So there's that. There's that. Oh, is that his name? Is Chad Ocho Cinco? Is that the same guy? Let me Ocho Cinco, Chad, is that the same guy? The only thing worse than having a tiny dick is not being able to put the one you had that you have all the way in. Only thing worse than having a tiny dick is not having anyone to use your dick on. All right, so that's a little football. That keeps us in the genre of football. I had played this song for you guys a while back by Stevie B. It was a song I used to listen to in high school, Springtime or Spring Love or something. And then I saw this clip the other day, and I either I had this stereo or one of my friends had the stereo. This is truly what my high school years were like exactly like this. Like this picture and video I'm about to show you, I've seen this with my own eyes 1,000 times. Like when I saw this video, I'm like, holy shit, like did someone steal this image from my brain? Here it is. I remember those buttons. I remember that green. I think you could change the color of that green. That's why that stereo was so awesome. I think you could push a button and it made it orange. So like you could go between green numbers and orange numbers. But I'm pretty sure I had this exact stereo. I can feel like when I see that, I can like feel my finger pushing those those 6 buttons on there are like the FM radio stations like you most listen to. You know what I mean? That was like the memory. And you had to install that yourself. I installed so many stereos. I must have installed 50 stereos as a kid. It's crazy. And those knobs, I remember how those knobs felt. Look at the cigarette lighter to the left of that knob. The cigarette lighter's gone. That doesn't even look like where the stereo is supposed to go. It looks like he fucking cut a hole. I had to do that a few times too. We had these things. Do they still have Dremel tools? We had like these things called Dremel tools, and yeah, I had a Blaupunk. Those were like expensive, a little overrated. Yeah, Rockford Fosgates. Yeah, all that shit. The amps, the speakers. You buy the speakers and the stereo, and then you're saving your money to get an amp. It's crazy. Yeah, growing up in the 80s. 90s. That's more 90s. I guess late 80s. I guess that's late 80s. 88. Depressing. What are you talking about? Yeah, removing the faceplate. I had a couple of the faceplate ones. I prefer the one where you pull the whole stereo out. God, those were some. I haven't even. There used to be stereo stores everywhere. I don't even see stereo stores anymore. Are there still stereo stores? There are places like you can go and it's like owned by like 2 Armenian guys. They install stereos and shit. There's this guy, Din Thomas. He's a fucking woke douche. He's an analyst for the UFC. I cannot fucking stand this guy. He's like, so the commentators of the UFC, they're like, you know, the commentators for any sport. They just sit in the booth and commentate, like John Anik, Joe Rogan, and like Michael Bisping or Daniel Cormier. They'll be sitting there and they're like sitting ringside and they're like commentating the fight. They're telling you everything that you're seeing. They're really good. All those guys are good. And then they have another guy that every once in a while in the middle of the show, they'll be like, Din, what do you see? And Din's going to be like, well, I think he needs to use his jab more and blah, 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 blah. Right. And he's like, and I hurt in the corner. And he like tells you, he's like the guy in the NFL who's like the sideline reporter. I'm over here and so has a broken knee. We had a guest on the show. I don't know if you guys remember him. His name's Cody Durden. He's a UFC fighter, and he was in a fight. And after he beat this guy, he goes, I sent that guy packing back to China. And he said it in the post-game interview. And Daniel Cormier, the commentator, pulled the mic away then, and he thought that it wasn't cool. And Din Thomas then tweeted a bunch of shit about that being racist. And it's like, shut the fuck up. What's wrong with saying someone I beat that guy's ass and sent him packing back to China? Like, how the fuck is that racist? And so when you call someone racist who's not racist, you're a scumbag. You are a world-class scumbag. And remember, I had Cody Durden on the show, and I go, what do you think about it? He goes, it's fucking ridiculous. I have a basement at my house where I let fighters live with me and stay. I had a black guy. I had a Mexican guy. He's like that's fucking absolutely insane. Like, if you would have beat a Jew fighter and you said, I sent that guy packing to Israel, no one would have said it was racist. If you would have beat an American and you said, I sent that guy packing back to Chicago, that would have been racist. But because he said, I sent that guy packing to China, he didn't like it. Well, now Din's chiming in on Sean Strickland. We have to admit it. Sean Strickland is not who he says he is. How about fuck you? You're not who you say you are. We want him to be something. He wants to be something, but he's not that guy. He's not the guy who's going to be going to the death. He says to the death. He didn't go to the death. He didn't even go deep. Dude, he pressured Duplessis nonstop, walking towards him until he got his nose broken. He walks down everyone. He walked down. He got knocked out, but he walked down Alex Bahia. He walked down Israel Adesanya. He walks down everybody. And he hates Sean because of the shit Sean says in the press conference. Din's such a fucking liar. Just a poor take. Sean, like many fighters, gets comfortable in what he's worked. Yeah, this guy says it's a poor take. I mean, why does he actually fight hard when beating up trolls from is Sean Strickland versus Din Thomas is the fight to make? Din is not speaking the truth. I thought Sean looked great. It's like the fight before when the girls fought, the crowd was booing, and like me and my boys and with the people at my house watching it, we were so into it. The people were booing because they don't want to see wrestling and jiu-jitsu. But to say that Sean Strickland was bad is fucking insane. His jab was crazy. He walked down Duplessis the entire fight. Then he got his nose broken, and then he adjusted his nose. His nose was sideways on his face, sideways and flattened out. Yeah, Sean's awesome. Din's just a hater and a moron. And he's conflicting. You know, I get it. He can't really hear what Sean Strickland says in his press conferences because he's a race baiter. He just wants to demand that there's racism. Yeah, I can't stand Din. They need to get rid of him. It makes me wonder if he was a DEI hire. Brace yourself. This one's gonna rock some of you guys. But it is what it is. I don't know if this is true. Oh, look, Jimmy Watson says, yeah, but you won't look cool. That's cool. Here, debunked within an easy Google. Quit trying to make yourself famous by slandering an art form. I Googled it, and I'm finding there is evidence. He's right. There's plenty out there suggesting large percentage of tattoo ink is toxic. Okay, here we go.
Or bad news with tattoos. I told you these things are bad. Listen, I did a video showing that a study that 21% chance of getting a malignant lymphoma with even small tattoos. Size did not matter in that case. But listen to this. This ink has heavy metals in it: mercury, lead, arsenic, cadmium, and even aluminum. And where they inject it, it can stay locked in that dermis, and it can cause problems in the lymphatic system, the liver, and even cross the blood-brain barrier, meaning you're constantly being poisoned by the toxins. Oh, by the way, the study also showed that half the inks that they tested have an avo-containing dye that when exposed to UV sunlight, it becomes very causing. So look, the risk is not worth it. The fact is,
he said cancer causing, and they bleeped it out. That was interesting.
Is removing these tattoos actually removes the chances of continued toxicity. There's the suggestion. More bad news.
So on this show, maybe that's why people don't like this show, because there's just like random shit just being said on it. But this guy saying tattoos cause cancer. I saw a study the other day that said that semen, the reason why you shouldn't use condoms is because semen actually is an antidepressant for women. Like somehow, like it being a load in the vagina is an antidepressant. I'm so glad the shit I'm into is mostly not bad. Damn. I guess I keep my phone in my pocket sometime. I guess that's bad. I'm so simple. I like to look at boobs and waves and read religious text, religious scripture. I didn't get to watch any Chosen yesterday. I told you guys my wife schooled me on The Chosen, right? I wonder if I can find that scene in The Chosen and play it for you guys. All the bros are hanging out by the campfire and they get in a fight. All the apostle dudes. I don't even think they call them apostles. He calls them students. All the students are hanging out by the campfire and they're getting in a fight while Jesus is at work with each other, like they're pissed at each other. And then Jesus comes back from a day's work, and I'm tripping that they're not working with Jesus. And my wife's like, no, that's not the moral of the story. I'm like, what's the moral of the story? She goes, the moral of the story is when you don't have Jesus in your life, you lose sight of what's important and you start fighting with your friends. You start having like fighting in your life. Like, wow. Yeah, that was great, right? I should get a book of like Jesus quotes. Oh yeah, I told Glinton this. Okay. I think I said it on my podcast too. I probably should say it like once a month. It's so good. Like it makes so much sense. And by the way, for those of you who like don't believe in God or Jesus or the Bible, that's not the point. Like that's you have to take what my wife says and like extrapolate from it. Like it's not it does you insert anything else where you want in Jesus. Insert like what's important to you or love or being good to your fellow man. Like I don't care what it is. But when you're fighting with people, you've lost there's a chance you've lost your way. Who you are. You're reacting to something instead of being who you are. Yeah, you can pick up the Bible. The Bible might be good for it. I don't know. What did I say? The Bible? No, the Bible's all Jesus' shit's all lost in the Bible, isn't it? It's just all like I just need just like I can't convert. I can't be a Christian or Catholic or any of that shit. I haven't been called. I haven't been called. I don't know. Like you can't. I'm not. Do you watch The Chosen with your kids? No. I mean, I tell them they can watch it. Most shit I watch, I'm like, hey, you can't be in here. And I explain to them why they can't be in here. I'm like, hey, dude, because they're introducing thoughts and things that you would never know about in your day-to-day life unless you saw it on the TV. It's not like it's bad or it's good. It's just like, hey, it's just not part of your reality yet, and I don't want TV introducing it to your reality. So I watched Predator with my kid. Oh. I wonder if that would scare my kid. I think I did. I think I started watching Terminator with my kid, and we made it like 15 or 20 minutes, me and Avi, and then my wife came home and like, put her foot down. Can't remember if like when she left the house, if we kept watching it. Okay, got to go. Looking forward to Jake's episode tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Welcome to San Francisco.
It's gonna start to be like The Walking Dead, almost like Zombieland.
How would you fix San Francisco?
To be honest with you, it's resources. You travel to some of the places that don't have social services, they're thriving. Their sidewalks are clean. You don't have any drug use out on the street. You don't have an environment like this.
So you're not saying there aren't enough resources, you're saying there are too many resources.
Cut back on resources, 100%.
Cut back on, that's an Armenian cop, by the way. An Armenian cop in San Francisco. What's the problem? He's saying the resources. There's too many resources. Yeah, dude. If you're going to give black women fucking $100 billion a year, yeah, they're going to leave their black men. If you give fucking in the state of California homeless people $24 billion a year, that's $133,000 per homeless person. Think about that. That's how much California spends on homelessness. $133,000 a person. I know Pat Lang's fact checking that right now. He's like, well, let me see if that's true. Of course you're going to be fucking home. Of course there's going to be homeless people. It's a fucking job. It's a pathway in civilization. It's a path. Well, of course. Why not?
It's a great place. Actually, if you're homeless, it's a great place to be because there's a lot of resources.
How do you pay your rent, if I can ask?
SSI, Social Security, income.
Some people say if you couldn't rely on the SSI,
that we'd like man up and boot up or something and like get ourselves together.
Yeah, what do you say to that?
I think that's just like we're trying hard. You know what I'm saying? Like no one wants to be like broken. There's an approach you can go about addiction. The whole idea of just like cutting it off or just like illegalizing everything, I think a foolish answer to it. It's a reality of what people are doing, what people have been doing, and are going to continue to do.
How did you get sober? What made you get sober?
Prison time.
The authorities said to you, you can either go to prison or to rehab?
Yes. That was the best decision I could make at the time. And, it's working out.
Does any part of you want to stop using it?
I guess like to an extent, like I want to better my life, like I want to be happy. The situation's not the best, but it's not horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the good things that are happening all around you. Life is beautiful.
Damn. That's Portland's even worse. I remember when I used to go to Portland, I remember actually thinking like this, it's like no exaggeration. It is actual walking zombie land. I think when I first started the podcast, I started telling you guys that. And then do you remember like within a week of me sharing those thoughts, there was a story of like a guy bit a hole in the side of another guy's head or something. I mean, it really is a zombie land. Those poor people. Yeah. And he doesn't want to be a drug addict. Like you can hear it. He wants to better himself and be happy. But there's $24 billion being dangled in front of him to keep his life going in the same path that it is. It's gross. Once again, people who think they are doing good. The Ozempic commercials were fucking disgusting on the Super Bowl. Just flat out lies. Like, how about they were attacking Big Pharma when they are Big Pharma in that one Super Bowl ad?
Today, over 100 members of Congress support a bill to fund Ozempic with Medicare at $1,500 a month. Most of these members have taken money from the manufacturer of that product, a European company called Novo Nordisk. As everyone knows, once a drug is approved for Medicare, it goes to Medicaid. And there is a push to recommend Ozempic for Americans as young as 6 over a condition, obesity, that is completely preventable and barely even existed 100 years ago. Since 74% of Americans are obese, the cost of all of them, if they take their Ozempic prescriptions, will be $3 trillion a year. This is a drug that has made Novo Nordisk the biggest company in Europe. It's a Danish company, but the Danish government does not recommend it. It recommends a change in diet to treat obesity and exercise. Virtually Novo Nordisk's entire value is based upon its projections of what Ozempic is going to sell to Americans. For half the price of Ozempic, we could purchase regeneratively raised organic agriculture, or organic food for every American, 3 meals a day, and gym membership for every.
So we could give people through Medicare and Medicaid healthy food and a gym membership, or we can give them Ozempic. By the way, this is Dave Asprey. This is the guy that sells like butter for your coffee or something. I can't remember what he has, some product that made him rich. It's like CBD oil in coffee or something. It's something that you put in coffee. He says it's fashionable to trash Ozempic and GLP-1 drugs as somehow cheating. As a guy who used to weigh 300 pounds and tried everything, including 90 minutes of gym religiously 6 days a week for 18 months, and a leader in the longevity field, I believe that Ozempic is a miracle drug for longevity and for obesity, but you have to use it right. Save this post and hit follow for more or some shit. This guy's a trip. This guy, oh, he's turned into a woman. Yeah, this guy's a trip. Don't settle for a dad bod. Oh, shit. I didn't even share this with you. I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ. You alive? No. I was watching the video. I was watching a video. I lost my way. I stopped watching the screen. Where did I lose you? 9:16. It's 9:18. That was 2 minutes of me just watching this video. All right. You're listening to something we can't hear. That's a shame. David Asprey. Did I even shave? Did I even share the account once? How often does that happen? Does that happen every show? He was talking about dad bods. He almost stroked out. Hi. Yeah, you can come in. I'm done, though. I'm just hanging on by a thread now. I'm done. Okay, you guys don't have fighting today? What happened to fighting?
And it's not coming.
Canceled? Yeah. Do you like it when that light goes on real slow? It's all booge. I was watching a video just now, and I thought that everyone could see it, and they couldn't see it.
Oh.
You guys missed the part. He was talking about man boobs as a sign of low testosterone.
Okay, you can stop.
Low testosterone. Did you guys ever watch the movie? Do you guys ever watch that TV show Chosen with me?
No.
Oh, you want to?
No, we're too busy watching The Simpsons.
Oh, all right. Maybe I should not let you watch The Simpsons, so you'd watch that show with me.
Why? It's an adult movie. I don't want to watch that. It's all about Jesus and stuff.
What's wrong with Jesus?
I don't want to watch just adults talking. We probably don't even stand it.
Hey, how long is that TV? 85?
I don't know. That's a big TV. You think
Yeah.
it's bigger than the one in the house?
No.
No.
It's the same.
Oh.
Not exactly the same, but it looks the same.
My shin is getting so small from wearing this boot. And my back is still hurting.
Oh, for when I cupped you guys yesterday?
But it's sore. Mine's a little sore.
We'll move around today.
I'm glad you didn't cut my legs, or that would be really sore.
Let me see your back. No one can see you. The camera's off. Let me see your back. Take your shirt off. Let me see your back. Yeah, or just take your shirt off. Let me see your back. Let me see the cups. How deep they are. Oh man, Avi, I cupped the shit out of you. I cupped you good too, Ari. Let me feel over here. That one. That's great. Sevon, I got my girlfriend hooked on the O.J. Simpson trial. I heard someone on Haley's side of the family was involved on the defense team. Maybe. She got some famous Jews on that. Famous football player
Your mic.
was accused of killing his wife or his girlfriend or something. And everyone with a brain thought he did it. And then so they had this trial, and the trial was public. And then he got off. The jury said he didn't do it. But like all of us at home were like, that motherfucker did it. So it was kind of weird. And he was a really famous football player. Like really famous when I was a kid. He's dead now. His name was O.J. Simpson.
Is my mic on now?
Yeah, it's on. I can hear you.
Testing. Hey, Heidi, what's this button for?
Oh, look. It's Max.
Oh.
Avi, I'm gonna talk. See now?
I slept good last
Can you
night.
barely hear
This
me?
is dope.
What is that?
Yeah, you can look.
So I
volume.
can't hear you. Now everything's off. Now it's back on.
Oh, cool.
Yes. When he turns it low, it's
Good job.
barely hear anything.
Sevon, didn't you see the new research that shows that HPV vaccine is far from as safe as they're promoting it as? I feel so bad. My mom didn't let me get it as a kid, and I got my first 2 doses last year. I didn't. I feel so bad. My mom didn't. You're saying it's bad, but I don't know. Sorry, I can't. Take 2. I don't understand what you're saying. But if you're still getting vaccines as an adult, you're batshit crazy.
Yeah,
That's my opinion. Do your own research.
my opinion too.
Have you done the research?
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion.
Oh, solid. That's good. Stay open-minded. Don't be closed-minded like me and your brother.
I don't have an opinion either.
Oh,
don't
she's
need
saying
an
she feels
opinion.
bad for taking it.
You should.
Yeah.
Who does?
I think anytime you shoot anything up, you're taking a pretty big risk.
What do you mean shoot anything up?
Like taking a needle and pushing into you and shooting it up.
Yeah. You don't know what kind of stuff's going into your body when you put a needle.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah. Very, very true.
You never
My
trust.
boyfriend begged me, and so I just let him. Oh.
Remember that April Fool's joke that we did on you about the vaccine on the jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
thingy?
Yeah.
We got you good.
You did get me good.
Yeah, we really.
They told me the jiu-jitsu instructor told me that the owners of the facility weren't allowing any kids to come there and train unless they were vaccinated.
Yeah, and it stuck with you. And you're like, and you were like embarrassed because McKenna was like right there.
I was definitely not embarrassed.
Well, you were.
Have you ever seen me embarrassed?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me one time.
I'll tell you when we're off the show.
Oh wow, it's that good, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get embarrassed to saying it.
You can think of a time that here. Let me turn off your mic. Okay, when was I embarrassed? I turned off your mic. Yeah. No one can hear you. When who said that? Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you know what's interesting about that? Yeah. All right. But I shouldn't get. Yeah. I shouldn't have been embarrassed by that. You're right.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Yeah. You remember that old? Remember that stuff?
Yeah, I remember. You point. Avi.
God. Oh, I have another one too. Actually, maybe not so much. This is more
Headache.
embarrassing for me.
Headache.
What?
Have you ever got embarrassed when you were a kid?
Yeah. But at some point in my life, I just decided. I don't know. At some
Have
point,
you ever got embarrassed when your friends are over?
I don't remember. But at some point in my life, I just told myself I'll never be embarrassed again, and I refuse to have that feeling.
Is Caleb on?
No, K-Vub's not on.
Caleb.
Was he on?
Did you have anybody on the show today?
Greg.
Was it Sebi's being wait, what was it when you cried? No, basically I don't get embarrassed by anything. What's funny is the example they gave is they did something that embarrassed me, which is very astute of them, because that's the whole deal with having kids. All of a sudden stuff can happen in your life that like you don't, it's very difficult, even when you're as wise as me, to not let it affect you. Like I've given up the material world, and then I had kids, and it's all back in my space again as human beings. So like anything I do, I'm not embarrassed. Like if I was walking across the street and I realized my scrotum was hanging out of my pants, I would not be embarrassed, or I would change my clothes in front of anyone or any of that shit. I just don't get embarrassed. But the example Ari gave is he did something that embarrassed me because I felt like I was responsible for it since he's my son, he's very right. That was accurate.
Headache.
Avi? Oh yeah, Avi. Sorry, Avi.
You are not wise. That's for sure.
Okay.
You're wise.
Dude, listen. If I'm not wise, then that means everyone around me is even.
Hey, everybody. Fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts.
True.
Yeah, but that's knowledge. I'm talking about I'm
Knowledge.
wise.
Why? You're not
Isn't that
wise.
weird? You
wise,
can
but
breathe
you're
through
wise.
your butt. Just think about that.
I don't think that's true.
You
but
get
okay.
all your oxygen from down there, and then you can't breathe when you poop. Just clogging the hole.
Let me give you an example of what wise is. So that's knowledge. Wise is
Yeah, I know what wise is. Well, not really. You. No.
I'll give you the example of wise.
Wise is like Raymond,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Wise is you're gonna meet someone to go to the movies,
Yeah.
and then they tell you they can't go.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, and you accept it. And 2 minutes late, but an unwise person might get upset. And then 2 minutes later, when you are sitting at home and the person didn't go to the oh no, I'll give you a real example. You want me to give you a real example?
Yeah.
I'll give you a fucking real example of how fucking wise I am.
Okay.
So the other day, Grammy wanted to meet us in Los Angeles at a breakfast place. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to drive straight home.
Yeah.
But when Mama told me that, I just accepted it. I'm just like, okay, it's cool.
I was actually glad we went.
But then I told Mama, I said, hey, we're going to LA. and there's $70,000 worth of shit in this car. And we're going to park in this shithole fucking neighborhood in front of this shithole restaurant, and I don't want my shit to get stolen.
And then we park.
So then Mama said, no problem. You can just stay in the car when we have breakfast. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you. Everything running smooth. I'm just chilling. Then we get to the restaurant, and there's one car in the parking lot
With a broken window.
with a broken window that someone had just robbed. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I'm like thinking, okay, I guess I'm not gonna go into breakfast. I'll just chill out here, right? 7 a.m. in fucking shithole LA.
Yeah.
Then
You went in.
1 minute later, who shows up in the parking lot?
Jeremy. Wait.
Who?
Not one police car,
What?
not two police
Who?
cars, not 3 police cars, not 4 police cars, not 5, 6 police cars with 2 cops in each car. Do you remember the whole breakfast place was just us
Yeah.
and police officers?
Yeah. So you felt
So I got
secure.
to fucking go inside and eat breakfast.
Hmm.
And the whole time I watched the whole thing unfold right before my eyes. I never got any emotional turbulence. I'm just chilling like a fucking wise old man. I'm like, I'm such a G.
I get.
Yeah,
I did not
that's-
follow you.
You follow it? That's
Kinda.
wisdom. Because I could have been like, oh, I don't want to go to LA. No, I do. No, my shit's going to get stolen. No, I could have gotten all wound up. I don't get wound up. I don't get spun up.
I get wound
The
up
only
a
what's the
lot.
only thing that ever gets me wound up or spun up on the entire planet?
Us destroying each other.
Yes.
Slapping us.
You
Just
fucking
boom.
3 boys are the only thing, and it's not your fault. I just haven't mastered the
Is there
You
water
had.
in
You
here?
had. You
I
had.
haven't mastered just being in control of myself. Like I can just lose myself when you guys are just when I can't handle accept what's going on with you 3.
But it's fun being the fun beating each other up.
I know.
Especially
Don't get me wrong.
Joe.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. And I enjoy you guys.
you
I enjoy
enjoy
the
that?
chaos because I like watching you guys fight and I like fighting with you guys. I just know every time
Headache.
it's end up being crying. And it's never me
I
who
am
cries.
so sorry. Joey is sick, and I'm gonna need someone to like get a little
I'll fight you right after the show.
after the show. You'll be tired. Like you'll be tired.
No. I'll fight you after the show. I gotta make 2 phone calls.
Ew.
Too.
Um,
You always say that, and then
You
you
always
make,
say
like 50.
you're like on the phone 98% of the time.
It sounds
and
like
the other 2% I'm on the podcast.
No, and the other 2%.
you're just
you're-
driving us somewhere.
I'm still on the phone, like
Yeah.
100% maybe.
Oh god.
You're always on the phone. I barely.
Oh, someone Jake Chapman just said something very interesting. No,
What?
who
You know
said this?
it's-
Oh, Kyle. No, Kyle Landis said this. This is a
What?
very interesting comment. If you breathe through your butt, does that mean everything you smell smells bad?
No.
Because if you breathe through your butt, then it has to pass through a filter of poop.
Oh.
Wow.
My God.
Wow.
I don't know.
Do you know that there's this creature on the bottom of the ocean?
Wait,
It's called
let's say we can breathe through our butt.
then everything would smell like shit.
Yeah, but there's no senses on the bottom of your butt. So your nose only senses like
Yeah, but if you breathe through your butt, there's also shit there. Let me tell you about this other creature. There's this creature called a mollusk, and it lives on the bottom of the
A
ocean.
mollusk?
Yeah, it's a kind of I think it's a whole category of creatures. They're called mollusks. And they travel like this, right? They're like snails. I think snails are mollusks. They travel like this, right?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
And
Actually,
there was
no,
a time on planet Earth. I don't think mollusks are still designed like this. I think they've evolved. But their butthole was here
Yeah.
and their mouth was here. And they would travel like this on the bottom of the ocean. So they would shit and then their mouth would pass over their shit. That's a fucking poor design. You get it? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just imagine you're this creature and you travel like this direction, and your asshole's here and your mouth's here. So every time you shit, you just pass right over it with your mouth because it's facing the ground, right? It's like one of
Yeah.
those creatures where all their shit's
Yeah.
like on the. And that was like one of the huge evolutionary leaps in I forget what the word is called, but evolutionists talk about it. That basically the
I'm
mollusk.
gonna ask you a
Then the
question.
mollusk finally got its asshole behind its mouth. Behind its mouth. But go ahead.
Do you think megalodons were real?
I have a megalodon. You know it. Megalodon or megalodon?
Megalodon.
Oh, megalodon. Sorry, I misunderstood. No, I don't fucking know. I don't know shark stuff. Are they real? I don't know. Should I look that word up?
People found teeth of. Well, Rhett has a giant.
Yeah, people found teeth the size of a
Oh, it
goat's
says
hand.
it said megalodon. I guess maybe it did. Megalodon is an extinct species of giant mackerel shark. Lived approximately 23.
It was 63 feet long.
No, 65 or 60.
That lived approximately 3.6 million years ago.
Hey, I'm not quite sure dinosaurs are real.
What? One of my crazy friends told me dinosaurs aren't real either.
Crazy friends?
I mean, my friend's a little.
Wait, go back up. Go back up.
What?
Thought I saw something with water. It
says
Well,
that
I guess
it
they
says
found-
one of these sharks could be 67 feet long. The most recent estimate of at least 67-foot long shark.
Some of the.
That's a lot of animal.
And I think
it's a lot of.
I think there's still one more megalodon out there.
Like in the ocean somewhere.
Yeah.
Ocean's humongous.
They just spotted this giant shark in a helicopter. What? What are you looking at me that for?
He didn't spot a giant shark.
Yeah, he did. My bad. He told a story. I didn't.
Wait a second. You're saying a helicopter didn't never spot a giant shark? I think I think Ari's story is 100% accurate.
Yeah, Ari's story. About Ari's story.
Yeah, about Ari's story.
What?
He's sort of right. My friend told me that early, but I don't like really believe it.
Thank you, Ari, for fixing Avi's mic.
He said that on the news or whatever, like this helicopter spotted a shark too big to be
what?
Too big to be
Jesus, spit it out, dude. About to kick
be
you off
a
the show,
whale
dude.
shark.
Spit that shit out. What?
to be too big for a whale shark.
Yeah, I saw the video.
So,
but it did
or
not.
it could
look
be a
big.
whale. So
It looks
Let me-
so skinny. So skinny.
Do you think that you should have told Ari live on the air that story wasn't true, or do you think you should have said? How could you else have you worded that?
I suck at telling stories. He's
What?
better.
You do not suck.
Good. Now we're talking.
No.
Oh, are you making fun of me? Did I embarrass you?
No.
Is he lying?
I don't know.
All right, guys. Thank you. Great show, Tyson Bagent. Tyson was on today.
It's Tyson.
All right.
There's two Tysons. That white guy that's bald, and then Tyson Bagent.
Tyson Bagent was on.
Are you still friends with Tyson?
The bald Tyson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the bald Tyson?
Tyson
He
Oldroyd. I used to work with
go
Tyson.
to does he still go to Greg's events?
I haven't seen him at one of Greg's events in a long time, but he still works over at CrossFit. And I am friends with him.
Still works at CrossFit?
I think he just got hired back for the 18th time.
18th?
I'm making that up. All right. I'm ready to eat a steak and make a couple phone calls and then whoop your ass.
Mom didn't make a steak
Why not?
because she divorced you.
Oh, all right.
No, I'm just joking.
She
She
made
made
a
a steak.
steak.
I was going to eat it, but
You can eat it. I'll make another one. All right. Love you guys. Talk
Mom
to you
made
guys
a
soon.
little piece.
I guess there'll be a Dave Castro weekend review today at some point. I'll see you guys then.